Welcome to the Hollywood Outsider. Over 11 years, 7 hosts, 2 cruises, interviews from Neil deGrasse Tyson to Tony Hawk to Jack Reacher himself, 16 various podcast award nominations, and 1 trophy for the best podcast in TV and film, and now officially 500 episodes. This is episode 500 of the Hollywood Outsider podcast. We always do this for you guys, but this one's for us. Let's get on with the show. My name is Aaron Peterson. Joining me today are my fellow hoes from now and beyond. John Davenport.
Yo.
Amanda Sink.
Hello, hello.
Troy Heinritz.
You're muted.
You're muted.
He muted himself.
You muted yourself.
Myself.
Jesus. Troy Heinritz, are you here? Are you what?
I am here. I
okay.
think. Unless I'm the one from beyond.
Jesus Christ. Scott Clark.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Long time no see.
Brian Williams.
Hello, hello.
And Justin McCumber, of course, is no longer with us.
He's dead.
Jesus.
Lord.
Couldn't make it.
Oh, man.
Couldn't make it.
He couldn't RSVP for this.
No, we try to get him, but he's stubborn.
He would appreciate that joke.
Sounds about right.
He would actually appreciate that. So this is 500 episodes, and like I said, we agreed that episode 500 was going to be fun. If you want like a rehash and nostalgia and a lot of that stuff, that's on 400, 300, 200, 100. This one is just for us. So I hope you guys enjoy it, but we hope you have a great time, your family. So let's have fun. Now we're gonna play games.
You're like, this one's gonna be fun, as in all the previous 499 were not fun.
They were fun, but everybody bitched it. Okay, Brian bitched at me a lot because he's like, I'm tired of rehashing the same stories, dickhead. Let's do something different. So here we go.
Well,
Yeah.
it's okay. We actually all
true.
understand that Brian is your whole world, so we get it.
He had a good point.
They just went on a
understood him.
romance adventure together again.
Yes.
Yeah, we
It
did.
was
Second time.
magical. It was magical.
It
Who
was.
takes it out of curiosity?
Huh?
Whoa.
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 Who takes it?
Wow.
Chewy don't take.
Wow.
Throwback to like episode 200 or something.
Wow, that was 300
Yeah.
episodes ago. So, John, what was your favorite episode of The Hollywood Outsider?
Oh God. I think my very first one, and maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should clarify. This won't be edited. So anything you say will be held against you in probably court of law, popular culture, Twitter, everywhere else. So
HR.
exactly. Mind your
Right.
P's and Q's.
Well,
Don't
for
do
the
that.
listeners,
Don't
they-
do
they
Now
do-
you
they
tell
do-
me.
Yeah.
For the listeners, like the if you aren't happy with this episode, don't worry. Aaron and I have already put up the actual real episode for the week. So
Exactly.
you
We
got
took
that
care of
going
business
up.
because these
right.
bitches weren't around. So
Nobody asked me.
sure didn't.
What the fuck do you mean?
Sure didn't. Nobody did call you and say, "You want to be on?"
No.
I think I'm the only one subscribing to Disney Plus still, and I didn't even get an invite.
I still have it, but I have it through Aaron's account.
Wow. Don't give the secrets away. Make people think
I'm
you pay
sorry.
for it.
Okay, yeah, I pay for it. I pay for all these subscriptions.
Remember, when you watch TV, buy your subscriptions.
Yeah. So you're trying. So we should say Justin McCumber, he passed away, so he won't be here, obviously, as Brian alluded to. But all
He
6.
didn't allude.
I didn't allude. that was pretty direct.
But Brian and
Oh,
Scott were founding members, and so they've been involved for a long time. If you're not someone who has heard them before, which is possible. Okay, well that's covered. So we were having a great time before we started. Now I feel like everybody's tired.
Well, it's
Just waiting on
there's-
you. You
there's-
drive this ship for 500 episodes. So it's like, if you don't say anything, we're like, okay, what's next, boss?
All right, what's
Well,
different for you in terms of? Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. You want to say something? Go.
Well, just to kind of prove my point, I think we're all like not used to having 6 of us in one room together.
True.
So like
Yeah, this
we're
is a
just
bit much.
deathly afraid of talking over somebody.
This
So
is
we're just all
chaos.
like waiting for you to go, man.
This is chaos. We're all drinking. Are we all drinking, or am I alone?
No.
I'm
Nope.
not drinking.
I'm sober.
Yep.
Brian's got a mason jar. What
The
the?
cleanse is over.
The cleanse. It's kombucha. It's what it really is. It's kombucha
Oh.
for Brian.
Well, we're not
No,
technically
just,
in the same room yet, Scott, but we will be in the same room in June 2023 on the Ho Cruise.
Yeah. Cruise number
We will.
2. We've got a second Ho cruise coming up.
Right.
That's right.
But you can reach out
Lots
to
of fun.
Brian. You can reach out to Brian, and you can book. There's still a couple rooms left, I think, right?
Yep. Still a couple of rooms. Yep. Had a couple people reach out recently, trying to make it happen for them. But yep.
But what?
Still loves.
What's involved in trying? Just give them a room. Like,
Yeah.
what are you making them do?
Well, they've got special needs. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, you've got
They have
special.
handicap
Handlebars?
ramps on there. Like,
Just want one
Easy.
closest to the bar.
Easy.
Can I
This
get one that has
I'm giving you the
handlebars
warning.
and a swing?
Aaron sees me warming up. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Easy.
I just want y'all to remember this is recorded and not edited forever.
Easy.
Aaron is spotting Brian's joke.
I'm just helping the brother out.
Well, from the sounds of it, somebody's spotting something in these rooms.
All right, Amanda, what's different for you? Well, this is for everybody, but she starts it off. Amanda, what's different for you in terms of how you watch movies or TV versus when we started this in 2011 when you weren't part of it?
I would say that first of all, I pay attention more.
Do you?
Because we're going to have to, yeah, I do.
Are you watching
Because
the
we're going to
right
have
show?
to talk about it.
Do you listen to the
Yeah.
show?
I do. Sometimes. When I'm not on it, I do, which has been a lot this year. But anyway.
Yeah, she's more spectator in 2022.
I've been
the
on more
guest.
episodes.
No. Maybe.
I mean, we're
see.
tied.
Fuck it.
I mean, you and I are tied.
Yeah.
At this point,
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah, Brian is basically the third host at this point in the line. I would say that not only do I pay attention more, but I don't want to use the word judgmental. I'm more judgmental, but I'm just more critical of it. So I'm going to look at it and compare it to a lot of other films. I'm more eager to try things that are outside of my wheelhouse than I ever used to be. Like from day one, I've told you guys, I do not do Westerns. But over the years, I've progressively tried to open myself up to some of those.
There you go.
And tried to watch things that I don't think I normally would have.
As you should. Yeehaw.
Yeah. Yeehaw.
You know
I have a
what?
cowboy hat or cowgirl hat. I can go wear
Easy.
it real
There's
quick.
no reason to yell about this. There's no reason. You just calm the fuck down. So
Also, what's the difference between a cowboy and a cowgirl hat? I mean, isn't it just
The
like a
cowgirl
section?
ones are cuter.
they are.
Brian, help me out.
Bedazzled.
Oh man, that's a no.
They've got sequins.
You're asking for trouble.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's different is I have a hard time. I'm overwhelmed. I am stressed now. I never used to be stressed watching movies, and now I'm stressed. Now when I'm watching, I'm like, I don't have time to catch up with everything. Stop recommending things. Like I'm not. That's how I feel a lot of the time. I feel overwhelmed and just like I'm constantly being yelled at to catch up on something. Somebody's always like, why haven't you watched this one thing? You just read up your alley. Yeah, they're all up in my alley, apparently. I don't have the time.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that. It makes me crazy when all this stuff is coming out and people are like, have you watched this? Yes. No, I don't know. What is it? What? Why?
It dropped yesterday, and there's 13 episodes. No, I haven't watched it.
No, I haven't watched it. You know, I still haven't gone back to freaking Sandman to watch that surprise episode
it's a
they
good
dropped
show.
down, and it's supposed to be really great. But I have been like, I just can't. I'm just leave it there.
There are like old shows that I've always wanted to watch. Like I've never watched like The Sopranos or The Wire. And I've always wanted to go back to those, but there's always something that somebody is saying, you got to watch this show. There's just always something. And sometimes I just want to take a break and go back and catch up on something old.
The Wire's
You gotta watch
fantastic.
The Wire.
I just tried to I tried to watch The Sopranos. I hate that show. I just do not like it. I've tried and tried like 3 times. It's not for me.
Oh, come on. Watch it with Madison.
What? Oh, you're
Matt.
She-Hulk. I get it.
It's funny.
Is it? I'm convinced
Aaron
by all,
Peterson,
Funny
I'm
when we
holding
talked
you.
about it yesterday.
by all the uproarious laughter. You can tell it's hilarious.
It took me, I just watched the episode this week, and it took me until somebody said it to understand what he was referencing. I was like, who the hell is Madison?
See, it's with a
Never
Y,
heard of
but
his
not
name.
where you think.
And I'm the guy that hasn't seen the episode yet, so I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Oh
It's okay.
shit!
You're not
I have
missing
Disney
it.
Plus, and I'm like, what's She-Hulk?
Yeah. I watched 2 episodes.
It gets a lot better after the first episode, in my opinion.
And
It's an awesome show from the start.
back on topic.
Nah, that's just your Tatiana Maslany glasses, goggles.
They
coming
really
on.
are. Yeah, it's really are.
These are the same picture.
What about the rest of you? What about you,
Those goggles.
Troy? Do you do anything different?
Yes, I completely got rid of cable. No local channels even. I do not watch anything from 4, 12, 2, 6, 32,
That's
whatever.
not
all the channel numbers
completely
are. Just
true. That's not completely
gone.
true. There's one show you
no,
still fucking watch because I'm required to watch it with you.
I watch the shows, but I don't watch them on local channels.
That's
I watch
true.
them either on a streaming service or
Screeners.
that
Yeah.
we would get through, doing this awesome show right here.
That's actually what I have written down as well, Troy.
The Blacklist?
The only
Wow.
no.
I'm like, random.
No, the only thing I watch live anymore is sports. Anything. I sat and racked my brain. I could not think of a single show or anything that I watch on live television except for sports. Everything is streaming, and I also really just don't use physical media anymore. If I'm buying a movie, I'm buying it on Movies Anywhere or just like looking. What's that app you got me into, Troy? That tells you. I think it's Just Watch.
Just watch.
Grindr.
I use that religious Grindr. I use that religiously, not Grindr.
Oh my God! I just died.
If I feel like I want to watch a movie, I just pop over to Just Watch and see if it's streaming somewhere before I even consider purchasing it. And even then, I'm just going to purchase it digitally. Ryan's still cracking himself up.
I got tears.
Brian, should we watch it this week? No, swipe left.
Swipe.
That's not a bad idea. They should make an app like that with how
man.
many shows there are out there to watch. Just like go through and swipe which ones you want it to like have an algorithm.
I thought you meant they should make a Grindr TV show, and I was like all in. I was all in.
They do. It's called RuPaul.
Wow. Shots fired.
Not shots fired. I'm here for it.
Shots welcomed.
Shots welcome. That's what he said.
Hey.
Whoa.
You'd be happy to know that they actually did make a TV show called The Grinder starring Rob Lowe back in 2015ing.
Well, if anyone needs a star in that, it has to be Rob Lowe.
Yeah. If anybody feels fitting. Yeah.
Well, even more fitting, it also started Fred Savage.
Oh.
Ooh,
He's
too soon.
savage.
He's falling down, huh?
Yeah.
Also, I do not watch commercials. Like commercials are just not in my wheelhouse at all. Again, the only time is when I'm watching live sports. I feel like if I will pay the extra money for a subscription service to not have commercials because the subscription commercials are even worse because it's the same one over and over again and it just drives me crazy. I will easily pay the $5 or $10 or whatever to not go through commercials because I just can't stand it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I've been watching
Bosch to watch things with commercials.
Well, yeah, I've been watching Bosch Legacy on Freevee, which is part of Amazon, and that just is upsetting with how they throw the commercials in there.
It's like at the beginning and the end. Or is it just the beginning? Or?
No, it's throughout.
I'm so
Yeah,
glad.
it's like regular linear
That's great,
television. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a testament to how great Bosch Legacy is because I'm sitting through those commercials.
Good
But
show.
then again, it's like sometimes I'm like, all right, well, I need a phone break now anyway. So
Good show. Very good show. I like that one
Yeah.
a lot. It's too bad. I watched the screeners. I didn't have to deal with them. Humble brag.
rub it in.
All right. So, Brian, has your personal taste or tolerance changed at all? And
Yeah, it's basically echoing Troy and Scott there, where it's basically all streaming at this point. There's not, there's really nothing live that I watch except for sports. I'm a big baseball fan, so throughout the summer, I've been watching plenty of baseball. Now we got college football and NFL kicking off, so watch a little bit. But yeah, commercial comes on, and I'm like, now what do I do? What this is, all right. To John's point, grab my phone or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's basically all streaming at this point.
I guess we're all in agreement there. Nobody. But have your taste changed? Has anybody's taste changed? Like the movies you like, you'd like something different now, or you don't like something that you used to like anymore? I find that I'm really, really picky about comedies now. Where I used to laugh at anything stupid, now I'm a lot more finicky. I think bitchy is the word I might
That's
use.
just because you're pushing 50. It's got nothing to do with
Could be.
10 years of podcasting.
Could be.
Get off my lawn with these stupid jokes.
That hurts, Dick.
So,
I'll say that I didn't used to really actively watch war movies just because that boxing, all of that, it's just hard for me to watch. But as I've gotten older and realize how much history I willingly surpassed learning about. I've gone to movies to learn about history and wars and all of that. And I'll talk a little bit about the one that's taught me the most later on. But those films I was not actively seeking out.
Do you like Westerns?
To add on that, just from a learning aspect, I feel like as I get older, and I will admit it straight up that it's because I'm older, not because my tastes change, but I actually enjoy and look forward to documentaries a lot more than I did when I was
You're
younger.
cultured now.
Before we started doing this. No, I'm not trying to sound cultured. It's just that I'm of the age where I'm watching documentaries about things that I was alive for, as opposed to watching documentaries for things that, were before my time. So I have an automatic greater interest in it because I, not exactly experienced, but I was around. Like the Woodstock one, Trainwreck. That
God.
was,
yeah.
I remember watching that on TV, and I never knew it was that bad. So that was a fascinating thing for me. And plus, I can always find a documentary on something that I'm interested in general. I can always find something that I want to learn more about. And when I was a kid, man, just the thought of watching something that didn't have a story was crazy. And now I crave them. Woodstock
kind of partly made me wish I was there because it looked like the party of the century. I mean, Mardi Gras, right, Scott? It was it was a great time, and until it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, it was scary. Like I said, I watched some of the concert during the day, but when you see the aftermath, that shot where the guy's like, "Are we in effing Somalia?" It looked like a war zone. It's nuts to me. But
that one chick talking about how she had trench mouth, I tapped out. I couldn't, any idea of wanting to be there when she's talking about how she had trench mouth. I was like, no.
Because they were drinking the poo water.
Yeah.
It's right next to the porta potty. I don't know why you need someone to explain that to you. Not safe. Not good. Don't drink it. It's right next to the porta potty. Man. I don't care what decade it was. I mean, I've known since I was a kid you don't drink water next to a poo station. I feel like Mom taught me that one pretty early. Hey, when you get thirsty, make sure there's no poo stations nearby.
Right. They're just filtering it. It's just constantly recycling.
Right. It goes in. And they were like, I can't believe it. I'm like, I can't believe we found poo in the water. I'm like, you can't believe it. The porta potties were right there. That's not mud, Jim.
That's not mud, Jim, he says.
Oh, all right. We got to get off that. So we each have a game or discussion topic, whatever we want. We each get to pick something. So Troy, you get to go first. What do you want to do? What is it?
Well, I was really interested in the whole free choice consolidation because that was always the big battle over the last 10 years since this podcast started. So we originally started with the big three networks, and then we moved into the cable world, and then the big three basically started buying the cable channels, and then it became multiple cable companies. Then it was the big three streamers, and now we're streaming with channels back to more streamers. So it's at the end of the day, it's this whole flux of consolidation, expansion. If you could build just the perfect whatever it is, bundle, network, what have you, what would you want to build, and how much would you charge for it? Scott.
I thought really hard about this because the a la carte thing is something that we have always wanted. When we started doing this podcast, we said, why can't we just go choose what channels we want or choose whatever? And we're kind of there, but it's just not the exact way that we want it because
it's kind of what we wanted. It's kind of what we wanted. We talked about this years ago.
It kind of is, but there's still like I don't subscribe to cable either, like Troy doesn't, just because I think it's such a waste of money unless you have to watch live sports like I do. That's all I have it for, because you're not paying for you're paying for every channel, even the ones that you're not watching. So I'm subscribing to things that I just really don't care about supporting.
Sure.
So I want to go to a true a la carte style where it is all tied to smart TVs or your device that you could cast to a TV. So I'm thinking buying an Uber smart TV, and then you pay a base price for a streaming service. I'm going to say $50 a month for the streaming service. And then you pay an additional $10 per month for any additional service on top of that. And you get to pick and choose. So I can choose Netflix, Hulu, HBO Go, whatever. And I can turn them on and off each month at my leisure. I think that's going to solve a couple problems because everybody complains about one of the services. Everybody complains about, oh, Netflix sucks now, or Hulu's commercials are the worst now. And basically giving the consumer the option to choose those is going to weed out all the ones that people don't want because people are going to vote with their wallet. And then you do the same thing with the cable channels. If you still want to watch live TV, you pick packages of channels. Like if you want just the locals, that's $10 for these local channels. If you want a sports package, that's probably going to be more than $10 just because the NFL sucks.
Sports.
Right.
Sports
or you
ball.
have like a package of, I don't know, like TNT and ones that are like that. I don't even know. Does TNT even exist anymore?
Not really. But way to date yourself.
I
Proves your point.
don't remember.
If you don't want to have, it's WB. It's HBO Max is really where TNT programming is probably headed.
But then you also offer a shared service where you can share it with up to 3 other family members for maybe like $5 per extra family member.
Sure.
And then like each month you just go in and say, okay, I didn't really watch any Netflix this month. I'm going to turn that one off this month. I'm going to give Hulu a shot and go in and binge whatever show I want.
I like that.
We're
So like just
voting with
toggle
our
it.
wallets.
Like you can say, I want this one on this month, and this one on this month, and this one off this month, and you only pay
as
for
long
what
as you
get.
do it by a certain time frame. If you don't do it by a certain time frame, it auto renews the next month. So you set an alert on your phone that says, hey, go check which TV subscriptions you want, and you just kind of tick them off.
Sure.
It's all in one spot. Everybody's on board. Everybody's going to get a piece of it. They're going to get a piece of your base service price. I'm assuming, but then they're going to get most of the a la carte menu.
I'll buy this. That's kind of how Troy does it, like on his own. He's like, sign up for this month and I cancel the next month. And then I sign up for the, I get that. If they could have an easy way to do that with like toggles or something where you can easily select, I would
right
do
on your
that.
TV.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to an app. You don't have to go anything. It's just, there's an app built right into your smart TV. There's apps built into my smart TV right now.
Yeah.
Just make that like the one that's always prominent, and you just go in and like manage your subscriptions every month.
And I think
you just gave someone a solid business model to develop and put out there, because people would easily pay to have all of their subscriptions basically filtering through one area and still have access to what they want and not have to remember like, okay, what's my HBO Max password to be able to get in here and turn that subscription off? Or I know for some of them, they make it incredibly difficult for you to cancel your subscription. Like you have to do it on a computer or whatever versus your smartphone. So being able to just the convenience factor of it would push people, I think, to go into something like that.
Honestly, I think I probably would pay even a little more than the 50 plus 10 per subscription, because as much as I watch, for the sheer convenience. And I think that
it does kind of sound like cable, though. I'm just letting you know, like the model's kind of cable-esque.
But you can't do that with cable.
TNT, TBS, Sci-Fi, whatever.
Well,
you're just
I mean, I could pick
Netflix,
channels.
Hulu, Disney, HBO. So it's the same basic kind of concept.
Just
But I think
easier.
Amazon and Apple are the closest ones that are going to do this right now. Like I went into Amazon because I wanted to watch a show on Epix, and I was able to just go on Amazon and say, buy Epix, 7-day free trial, and then cancel Epix immediately.
You and your
that way I
fucking
could watch what I
trials.
wanted to watch for that 7
This
days.
guy knows how to save $5. I'm telling you what. So he's like, I want to watch the show.
Worth the $5.
I'm going to sign up for the trial. Bam, knocked it out in 7 days. I'll
He
come
lives
back.
in Chicago. What do you expect? He's got to pinch his pennies where he can.
That's right.
I get it.
And I take advantage of those free trials. if ever a free month comes up, there was they had a deal at Best Buy where you got 3 months of Apple TV.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted to rewatch Ted Lasso and Severance. So I just got that and haven't watched anything since, but I got a little thing on my phone that reminds me to cancel that subscription on this date. So
Hey, you got to play the game
like Troy does.
You got to play the game. Play the game.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid
That's the
plan,
key,
Scott.
is having that one central service though, so that you could just subscribe through the one portal
Mhm.
Right.
versus having to go to the individuals. And Netflix and Hulu will never do it, but it'd be really nice if they would.
Especially because it's easy for you to unsubscribe, like Amanda said.
Well,
It's very consumer friendly. It's not, service ownership friendly.
You know what the trick is, though, is that I try to do what you guys do, where you cancel and but I end up having like multiple people on my login. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. I have multiple people on my login, and therefore
Texting you.
Yeah, and they're like, well, I feel bad if I like Disney Plus. I don't use freaking Disney Plus for hardly ever, but there's like 4 people on there that use it, so I don't want to cancel it. I feel bad. I mean, I feel like I'd just be leaving them hanging. So
are they reciprocating?
Yeah,
they're scratching your back too.
Yep.
Okay, well then, yeah.
I'm not stupid, Scott. I'm not stupid. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that business model.
Like I said, I think we do, but they won't. Yeah, it's too easy to subscribe, and the voting with your wallet thing would really make the lower quality services shine. As like, oh man, especially if we could see the numbers, so we could see like what percentage of everybody is doing stuff. Oh, everybody's got.
Oh, it's
Netflix
it's like fantasy football where you say like percent of this player's percent rostered. You could have the list of the services, and then you can say what percent of the thing is rostered to subscribers of that service.
There you go.
That'd be great.
There you go.
It's a good idea.
I like it.
I know it's absolutely impossible for this to happen, but just like hypothetically think in your brain with me and imagine a world where particularly television shows, all the properties are owned by the same company. So you can integrate different characters with each other if you want to. You only have one company that you're going to like get that content from. Like, I'm sure Disney's going to own all of them anyway at some point. But like if you had a Netflix branch of Disney and you had a Hulu branch of Disney, but not Disney, I'm just using this as an example, but they all were with the same organization in the end. And so you could have one of the issues we had with Netflix when the Marvel shows were canceled from Netflix, we had to wait for them to get to Disney for the rights to get over there. So we had to wait for that content to come back. It would have been so much better if we could have just said, okay, well, that's just going to be at a different arm of this organization, but we don't lose out or have to wait on ownership rights to get moved around for somebody to buy the rights to this property, et cetera. Like that's ultimately what I would like. And I would pay a lot of money for that just because I feel like it would benefit the consumers. It obviously is not an economically balanced business model. Like the business would not probably do super great and it would just be a monopoly. But at least for us, we would not have to worry about losing stuff. Like they could just move it over somewhere else and just say, nah, this branch isn't going to handle it anymore. But you as a consumer don't lose out on that property.
It's a fun idea in theory, but I think the problem you're going to have there is that you're going to see the quality of the content go down because if there's not the competition between these different service providers, then they don't have to really work on making quality content as much as just put stuff out there because the person's going to pay for it anyway. You know what I mean? Like
I said, in a perfect world, like this would be ideal for me, which is ultimately what we're doing here is hypothesizing. But
well, I'm drinking.
I know that it's not an option. I know for a fact that this would never work, but I would love it if somehow it managed to.
Me
My
too.
favorite is that people complain about the fact that they lose stuff. There's 600 scripted shows. If something is going away for a little bit, it's like, are you really going back to Punisher when you got 30 things you want to watch?
I would 100%.
But you could wait.
If the Punisher came on tomorrow, I would drop as much as I could to be able to access that and watch it. I think the problem is with movies and television shows, this art form, this entertainment section, they want us to create an attachment to these characters, to buy into this world. That's the beauty of cinema, is that we're living in it, we're breathing it, we're experiencing it with these characters. Woo, spirit fingers. But at the same time, when we lose that, it's like, I gave you my heart and soul into this piece, you know, like it resonated with me, it connected with me. I was really looking forward to it. So it's natural for us to feel like we've lost something when the shows and movies are literally written to get us to connect in a way that others don't. And each one is going to connect with people for a different reason or on a different level, or maybe not at all. But it's hard to appease everybody. So,
John, I felt like I cut you off a second ago. I apologize. Did you have something to add?
You shouldn't. You shouldn't apologize for that.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
All right, never mind.
Me either. But my glass is refilled, so life is good.
Yeah, I mean, all these ideas are fantastic and fun. I just want to see a net IMBO Max. Like, so you take my Netflix, my Prime, and my HBO Max, and you turn it into one thing. Charge me $25 a month. Call it a day.
Used to be called HBO.
Yeah,
Did.
it's gonna be called HBO again.
Yep.
It's going to be called Discover HBO.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Well, movie innuendo. This is where each host picks one. This is one of our favorite games here at the Ho. Each host picks one famous movie line that is completely innocent, or at least non-sexual in nature, and delivers it as sexual innuendo. The idea, without changing the words, only the tone or the delivery. The idea is to take something that you think is innocent or non-sexual and make it dirty, because we're pathetic. All right, so John, you get to go first. Make sure you tell us what movie it's from and then deliver your line.
All right, so from Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
You had me at hello.
Is that what you sound like when you oh?
Did someone corncob you halfway through that saying? Or?
is that what you sound like?
Whatever you want to believe.
You got the weirdest vinegar strokes, man.
Oh my God. That was.
I have no idea what that means.
You should watch The League. Yeah. Scott, you're up.
Do I really have to say the movie first?
Yep. Yeah. No, you got to absolutely tell us what the movie is so we know what's coming.
All right. I mean, there's only one quotable line from this movie, and that's it. But the movie Babe.
Ooh.
That'll do, pig.
Jesus.
That'll do.
What's funny is that was on my short list as well.
Is it really?
Oh, shit.
That'll do, pig.
Oh my God.
That'll do.
There you go. That got like more sexual too.
All right. I think, is it me? No. Yeah, it's me.
Is you?
So mine is from that's one of my favorite movie quotes. In fact, if you're watching the video, there's actually a poster of this quote on my wall. From let's see. It's from Reservoir Dogs.
You did this one, man.
I don't care. I'm doing it again. It's my favorite.
Okay.
I love it.
I also like that he has a poster of it on his wall and he can't remember what the.
I know.
I remember taking you
I
5
was thinking
minutes
the
to get to
same
it.
thing. It took him a hot minute to remember.
It's something like
I'm like
Google
2
it.
drinks in. Shut up.
It's not the years, it's the mileage.
Lightweight.
It's not lightweight, Amanda. You should see how I make my drinks. Brian knows. He understands. He's spent a week with me. Are you going to bark all day, little doggy? Or are you going to bite?
Do you want her biting you?
Yes, maybe. Don't
Fair?
judge me. Why are you so judgmental? I thought you were the progressive one. Jesus Christ.
I am. I just like my head. I don't even want to get into this.
Hey, look, there's nothing wrong
Biting
with
in
a little,
certain places
with a little
is okay.
biting.
Little nibble.
There's nothing
Little
wrong
nibble
with
here and
little
there. It's never been, as
In the
long
right
as you don't have a ring anywhere, I think it's fine.
It's got weird.
It's all right. Troy, you're up. Please let it be from a
Andy
Pixar
Donald
movie.
talks. All righty.
This one is from Poltergeist, the original, not the remake.
Ooh.
Oh, this house is clear.
There, here.
Oh, wow.
What
It took me a second.
That's it? That's all you gave us?
Is there a pineapple?
Wow.
Is there a pineapple there?
You talking about crabs?
There's pineapple, but
Picture of somebody pointing.
Talking about crabs.
There, here. There, here.
What just happened? Oh my God. Amanda.
Boy, how do I follow that one?
I don't
know what movie that's from.
Asshole. Mine is from The Godfather. I'm going to make him an offer that he can't refuse.
Oh, we can refuse it.
No?
Hey.
It works. It works.
That works. That's good. Brian, what do you got?
All right. This is from the classic movie Psycho.
Mm.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Jesus Christ.
Brian, what are you trying to tell us?
Brian, that was on my short list.
I give all
For
right.
those that are only listening, I really wish you could have seen Brian's reaction at laughing at his own joke. It was fantastic.
You should see. Yeah, you should watch the cringe level of the other
Yeah.
five.
Mm. That's
Totally
some
worth it.
Game of Thrones shit right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go around. We're gonna go in the boxes here. So Troy, who's your pick for winner of that? You can choose yourself if you so feel inclined.
I'm thinking I like Scott's.
Okay, Scott, who's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Brian's.
All right, I'm gonna go with Scott's. Actually, I think Scott's got the winner there. Amanda?
I'm going with Scott also.
Well, Brian?
Good delivery. Good delivery.
Yeah, I got to give it to Scott.
All right, John.
What movie is that from?
That's
the one you guys made last weekend.
That's a movie that's about to be filmed.
I'm giving it to Scotty.
Okay, everybody's giving it to Scotty. Everybody's giving it to Scotty.
Otherwise called Saturday Night.
Oh my God. That's great. Even though yours is really insulting in a lot of ways, but I still like yours best.
That'll do.
That's funny. All right. What's the now? Oh, Scott. Hey, that's a nice segue. Yeah. You're up. Your whole game or discussion. You choose whatever it is.
What I wanted to know is I wanted to know something about life that you learned from watching a movie or television show. You know, something that you know people do that phrase where they say I was today years old when I learned this. I want to know one of those moments from a movie or film. And as an example, I'll start with mine. One of my favorite movies of all time is Fight Club. I learned in that movie that when you watch a movie where they have the old projectors and those little, like, they call them cigarette burns or whatever. Uh-huh. I did not know that those were the cues for the projector to flip over the reel or whatever. I had no idea. I just thought that was like crappy, grainy film or something like that. It actually had a purpose. And that kind of blew my mind in 1998. So I want to know what you guys have that is something that you never, that you never knew, that you were like, wow, I never knew that. And I'm going to start with John.
Oh, goody. I'm going to have to say that the thing that surprised me that I did not know was when Watchmen, the series, came out, the Tulsa Race Massacre was something that was never on my radar. Not ever, ever, ever. I thought somebody would have told me that happened. I would have been like, yeah, that's not in this country. No, in this country, it did happen. So that's what I'm going to go with, is the Tulsa Race Massacre.
All right. Aaron, how about you?
I'll be perfectly honest. I would say The Breakfast Club taught me to listen to people of all different cultures, or to listen to see where people are coming from, because everybody comes from a different walk of life. Yeah, perspective. Thank you. Everybody, the alcohol is getting to me. And it gave me the perspective to be willing to look at people like that I had kind of looked down on, I think, at that point, and learn to just, you know what, breathe, listen. And everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a tale. Everybody's got something in their past. And I think that movie really, really resonated with me, especially growing up, because I had specific parameters for where I thought people were in life based on very similar ideals that are in The Breakfast Club. I mean, there's a reason why that resonates with so many people, is because it's true. You know, you got the jock, you got the nerd, you got the prom queen, you've got, you know, all the rebel and all that stuff. And I was very much the rebel. So I didn't look at the other people like good people. They were all dicks to me, but they probably all looked at me like I was a dick. And it kind of just gave me a perspective that I think I needed. So it's an invaluable tool to be very understanding. Or it was one of the things that I think really informed me to be understanding.
All right,
I love that one, because I actually almost selected that too, because for a similar reason but different, it also teaches you to love and accept yourself in spite of everyone else's perspective and the way that they judge you or think about you. Hell yeah.
And also raise a fist. Yeah, everybody raise your fist in honor of Judd Nelson, who's a very underappreciated actor.
Moving on, Troy, what do you got?
Mine was more of like, I see something in the movie and then it leads me down the rabbit hole. And so we recently saw Nope, and the talk about the first motion picture of a horse being ridden by a black jockey. So as I started to spiral to see if that was actually a true thing or not, that led me back into the late 1800s and found out that in order for blacks to be equivalent to whites, there was pretty much two professions that they had. One of them was being horse jockeys. And actually in 1875, the inaugural year of the Kentucky Derby, 13 of the 15 jockeys who competed in that inaugural event were actually black. And 15 of the first 28 derbies were actually won by black jockeys.
That's awesome. I didn't know that either.
I did not.
Interesting.
So I was like, little history for you.
Very cool. Brian, do you have one?
Yeah, y'all are way deeper than I am. So yeah, being a selfish dickhole can basically kill half of the universe, as proven to by Star-Lord in Avengers Infinity War. So yeah, so basically, they had Thanos beat, and because he was all me, he kind of ruined it literally for half of the known universe. So
It's a good call.
don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Give a little bit. Give a little bit.
All right. And to round it all out, Amanda.
So this is what I was referencing earlier when I was talking about war movies. Aaron is dancing right now.
I'm
so
singing,
excited.
give
He
a
has
little
alcohol
bit.
in his blood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Imagine when it comes down, because boy, I'm going to hit hard. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night, kids.
It's going to be like Brian all over again.
No.
Brian,
Brian can, as someone who just spent 7 days with Brian, no one can keep up with Brian. I'm just letting you know, Brian can drink. He knows how to moderate and take control of the reins. So I am not Brian.
Let's just say I got my money's worth. As a matter of fact, I got both of our money's worth out of the drink package.
This is true.
Nice.
wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Sorry, man.
Both of us. Sorry.
So mine is Taxi Driver. And again, just to give you some context, I'm a very smart person, but history has never been something that I've been interested in or intrigued in until I got older. And so when I was in college and in film school, one of the things that they were teaching us about is the Vietnam era and showing us that through film. And there are some really great examples, but one of the things that I guess I didn't fully understand is the impact of the way that Vietnam veterans were treated, the way that they were perceived by Americans when they came home and while they were away at war. And so part of it came from seeing the PTSD effects that happen on the soldier, and part of it also came from the conversation around that era and diving into learning about what those men experienced. And it was really heartbreaking to learn about it because as someone who is an early 90s baby, I've seen soldiers treated with the utmost respect, right? I've seen them as like, you're a hero, you're, the epitome of being an American. And to learn that these soldiers, when they returned from war, were treated with less than the respect of like a raccoon, it's like, wow, I had no idea that it was so bad. I don't know why I went with the raccoon. Leave me alone. I'm sober. Leave me alone. But like, it's just, I don't know.
I am Groot.
That perspective, if you weren't alive for it, you have to be taught about it to understand. And movies are a great way to teach us about history and about different things that we never experienced.
Coons.
Good call.
We get coons under my porch, Mama, just moving with the broom.
I don't know why I said raccoons. I just feel like nobody likes them.
Oh, everybody loves a good trash panda. Come on.
I might have went to Forrest Gump right away when you said that. I don't know why.
Yeah. Looking bears are great.
Is anybody left? Or is that everybody?
I think that's it.
It's everybody. Yep, that's it.
Hey, Amanda, it's your game time. Yours is wild.
Yeah, I was trying to do something fun. I actually created this specifically for Scott because he's such a music fiend.
Wow.
And he's also always been the poet for the Hollywood Outsider.
And he didn't know it. Huh? No?
And he didn't know it.
Oh, well.
Oh, wow. Those drinks are kicking in, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm going to stop. It's back to water. Back to water. Red Solo Cup, here I come.
So my what the game is essentially you're going to take any popular movie or TV show theme song and rewrite the lyrics for the Hollywood Outsider. Not the whole song, please, just like a chorus or a verse or something. And hopefully it's kind of fun for everybody. And you're all drunk, so it works.
Not all.
But I'm going to start with Scott.
I'm not drunk. I'm just angry.
I'm not drunk.
Are you angry, John?
Just angry.
Of course, you're going to make me go first. That's
That's my secret, Scott.
Is it?
All right,
You're always
Bruce.
angry.
Yeah.
All right. So, how do you want me to do this? Do you want me to say what it is from, or do you just want me to like break into the song here? It's a little weird.
We should
Break
be able to
in a
identify
song
it.
and then tell us the movie.
Yeah, let's see if
I
we can
mean,
guess it. Or
it's-
TV show.
There's no way you're not going to guess it. But
Okay.
all right.
Or TV show.
Oh boy, I actually practiced this, so I'm a
Oh,
little
I did
nervous.
not.
You're a musician. Why are you nervous?
I'm not a musician. I just dabbled.
Let's go easy
All right.
on the giving him the labels there, Amanda. All
Yeah.
right, I mean, come on.
Band, he's saying.
So we're a lot of people. Let's go easy.
So is Brett Michaels. Have you heard him lately?
Are you saying that your life has been as bad as Brett Michaels?
Have you seen the
No.
video of Vince Neil, by the way, where he's like they actually subtitle where he's singing and it's just like 103. It's amazing.
Kind of hilarious.
Oh my god! It's
At one
amazing.
point, it just says birth noises in the bottom of the screen. It's really good.
But no, Scott is a good singer. So go
All right,
ahead.
here we go.
No pressure.
No, I'm not.
I'm drinking.
Our whole podcast feed was in a hot, dense state. Then 130 months ago, the hoe was born. Wait. The feed began to rule because Aaron's hosts were really cool. The guy in charge developed rules. He made us cringe. Don't you be late again. Drama, horror, comedy. Are we insane? Yeah, probably. It all started with a cheap website. Ho!
Ah, that was good.
Well done. Well done.
That was really good.
That was a lot more work than I put into it.
I was going to say, upon reflection, maybe I should have put Scott at the end so we end. So
we end on quality.
on a high note.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Scott, and that was from?
Aaron, you're drunk.
Yeah, I
That
am.
was from The Big Bang Theory.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure people knew. Man, it's your thing.
Amanda.
Lead.
Aaron, you're
Oh.
drunk. Let's go with you.
Fuck. I don't want to. All right. TV don't play in the theater. Movies don't play by the grill. Took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. Now we're up in the big leagues, getting our turn behind the mic. As long as we live, it's you and me, babies, and there ain't nothing wrong with Mike and Ike's. Well, we're moving on up to the Spotify, to a deluxe podcast in the sky. Moving on up to the Spotify. We finally got a piece of the pie.
A for Aaron.
Bravo,
I
bravo.
loved the enthusiasm.
Yeah, dude. That was
Oh.
good. I wanted to see you do that sober.
I don't want to ever.
Very well done.
I don't even want to listen to that on
Yeah.
replay. I don't want to know what I did. Because thankfully,
John, angry man.
All right, here we go. You take TV, you take some movies, you take them both, and there you have the Hollywood Outsider, the Hollywood Outsider. You take Aaron, you take some clowns, and then you take them both, and you have the Hollywood Outsider, the Hollywood Outsider.
keep going. Is that it?
That's it. That's all I did.
I
This
like
is
it.
a man who hasn't prepared.
I prepared. That's the facts
Hey,
of
he's fine.
life. That
Just
was
the
the
fact.
chorus of the facts
Just
of
the fact.
life.
I got-
We literally
I-
lost Aaron.
You either make you either
Bitch.
made
He
him
just
pee
pulled a
himself
Brian.
or vomit. I'm not
Yeah.
sure which one.
For those that aren't watching the video, we literally just lost Aaron. He is off camera. We don't know where he went.
He's probably blowing his nose. He like blew
He's
some
probably
alcohol
blowing
out of his
chunks
nose.
at this point.
Oh man, that was
Uh,
funny.
Moving the tears.
So are we
Okay.
gonna wait for him? We just gonna go? to
No,
the
let's
next
just keep
Keep
going.
going.
We don't need
Keep
him.
going.
Let's
Fuck it.
go. Troy.
Oh, I thought Brian was going to go next. All right.
No, go Troy.
Look at what's happened to us. We can't believe it ourselves. Sometimes we research and sometimes do not. But would you listen to anyone else? We're 500 in and going nowhere. Entertainment is what we bleed. Topics galore or games till we're bored. Reviews from these hoes that aim to please. Dun 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 dun.
I'm gonna have that song in my head
Well
all
done.
night now.
Is that Greatest American Hero?
Yeah, it's greatest.
Yeah.
American Hero, you got it.
Well done.
Aaron's back.
Well done. Sorry.
Are
Sorry.
you okay, man? We didn't know
Yeah.
what happened.
I died.
Yeah, you kind of shot out of there like the Flash, man. It was like,
Sorry about that.
All right, Brian.
well, we've heard a version of this already. Unfortunately, nobody collaborated, so we got a little double take. Hopefully, this one's a little bit better. You take the good, you take the bad. You better be quiet or Aaron's mad. 500 life. 500 life. It's been 10 years and maybe more. What else are you wanting more? 500 life. 500 life. Once or twice a year, I show up on here drunk on beer. All right,
oh, that's funny.
So,
maybe I didn't prepare enough. Maybe I didn't. Just thinking. I don't know why,
funny.
but I got a feeling that I didn't prepare enough.
No, you did
500
fine.
life.
Amanda, do you have one?
Yeah, I do. I was just trying to be courteous and let everybody go. But now I don't like that I'm at the end, so I should have switched this up. Okay, so mine is, if there's something cool in your movie theater, who you gonna tell? The Hollywood outsider. If there's something bad and you wanna warn us, who you gonna call? The Hollywood outsider. That's it.
Nice.
She's like, that's it. That's all I got.
Also, A for Amanda.
Like if you could, there was practically a curtsy that she just did.
Yeah, she was like,
It was like, thank you.
so now we go round. Same thing. Troy, who's your winner? Who's had the best one?
That's tough because I liked Scott being able to actually do the speed on the song. Brian's was actually original.
Fuck everybody else.
I'm gonna go with John.
Yeah. You're going to go with John? You just...
Yeah, it's the pity vote.
When you can't pick from all the good ones, you just pick the guy who's the underdog. So John wins.
What the fuck?
Take it.
Yeah, you take it, all right. You take it.
yeah.
I and Chewy have nothing in common.
All right, Scott, and as far as the boxes are concerned, you're next.
I'm going to go with Aaron just because he was so delighted with himself with what he did. It was kind of fun to watch.
I'm going with Scott. I like. Or actually, no. No offense, Scott. I'm going to change it to Brian. I like Brian was actually pretty thought out. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, you won the last one, bitch. So you know, by a landslide, it wasn't even close. Everybody else just like a pittance, like we didn't even try. Amanda.
Yeah, mine was also tied between Scott and Brian, but I'm actually going to give it to Brian just because I thought 500 Life was really catchy.
It's very catchy.
You got to stay in that, rhythm stuff. You got to match the rhythm of
That
the
rhythm
song.
stuff.
That's
That rhythm stuff.
clinical
It's
term.
musical, like technical stuff. I don't want to bore you with it.
Yeah, thank God.
The rhythm's
Thank
gonna
God
get
you don't want to bore us with the words.
The words.
All right, Brian, who's your pick? You can pick yourself as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with me.
He's so proud and confident. There was no hesitation, no thought. He's just like, hell yeah, I won.
I nailed it.
Not an ounce of modesty.
I nailed it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
John?
I'm going to go with Amanda for the curtsy.
Wow.
I respect the pity vote.
It's the last time I throw a vote your way, jackass.
What? What are you talking about?
Screw you.
Yours was great, man. I just I don't know.
Yeah, we
I'm
know.
out of here.
We know.
All right. So since we've been doing this podcast, here are the top 7 films of the domestic box office. Boy, I'm really trying to keep... I feel like Brian right now. Here
Why
are
did you
the...
go 7? Like, why just an odd number of top 7?
Because there were
films?
7 hosts. There were 7 hosts of the Hollywood Outsider.
Oh, okay. Got
Scott,
it.
don't trip him up right now. He's got to get through this sentence. and
It's
he's not
very
doing
hard to
well.
read when you can't see the words, Scott.
It's hard to see when your lips don't move so well.
Yep.
Do you understand the words that are on your computer screen?
All right. So here are the top 7 films of the domestic box office. And the time we've been doing the podcast. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. Okay. Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Shut the fuck up. Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Avengers
Can we get a bag
Endgame.
of chips right now? That's what we need.
I need carbs. Spider-Man, No Way Home, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War. So Infinity War and Endgame were both here. Top Gun Maverick, and Jurassic World. Those are the top 7 domestic box office hits. What is the best movie of this and why, Brian?
Oh, for me, this is a no-brainer. Avengers Endgame, just mainly because it was the culmination of 10 years worth of Marvel movies being built up. You also had the emotional battle at the end of it. with Thanos and all of his minions. You had, and when you hear that on your left, and all of a sudden you get those chill bumps.
Oh my God.
And you see the Doctor Strange sparkly portal stuff start opening up, and everybody starts coming out, and then you got
Those
all
fire
the
holes.
Those fire. And you've got like all the women heroes standing together, fighting with each other. It's just I'm literally getting chill bumps talking about it right now.
Oh my God.
Plus the return of Cap earlier in the movie too was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's just there's so much of that stuff that's been building up for a decade, and to tie it off and to end it so well is just magic, movie magic. So,
Can I go next just because I want to kind of ping pong off of him?
Absolutely not. Fuck you. You're going last. All right.
All right.
No.
Well,
yes, you can.
I'm doing it anyway.
Look at Scott.
Look at this. He's not dealing with it anymore.
that's what I'm talking about. Do change after that.
Personal
Look at that. He
growth.
leads his own podcast for a few years, and suddenly his balls drop.
So I was actually torn between Endgame and an Infinity War, and I agree with you that Endgame is very strong. But I'm gonna say I actually went with Infinity War just because for the sheer fact that a movie that grossed that much money ended on such a down note.
That's
like, when's the last time a movie that popular ended
on a bummer, right?
Not a happy note? I mean, it was even worse than Empire, really, if you think about it, because Empire at least had some hope going for it. There was no hope. It was just credits. And the fact that movie still did that well, to me, just makes it such a bigger mark, because obviously, Endgame is going to be epic, and it was epic. And I'll agree with you that the ending of Endgame was way more epic. But the fact that I walked out of that theater just feeling depressed, and I went back for more, and so did everybody else to go to the theater.
Mr. Stark,
So that's why
I don't feel so good.
Have you seen people doing that Halloween decoration, by the way?
That's amazing.
Where they have
amazing.
They have Spider-Man, just the top half, and the rest of it is leaves.
That's amazing.
That was brilliant. That made me want to decorate for Halloween.
Who wants to go next? I'm gonna second Endgame, because although I love Scott's Infinity War explanation, I think that really holds water. And I can make a real argument for Top Gun Maverick. Surprisingly, that movie is just fantastic. But Endgame, I have watched the audience reactions probably 100 times, and Spider-Man No Way Home comes really close, but that's only the back half of the movie. The first half, I think, is just okay. It's the second half that's awesome. Endgame, I think, is a great movie. But once you get Captain America just done, just ready to, you think he should quit, but he ain't going to do it. And then he gets a Cap on your left or whatever. Oh my God. I'm getting emotions right now just thinking about it. But I've watched those reaction videos over and over and over again, and I have yet to feel anything less than amazing when it happens. It's one of the best feelings I've ever had in a movie in my entire life. And I think Marvel is kind of that's all they keep doing now, is just trying to recapture that Endgame magic.
Right.
But my God, I've never felt that good in a movie in my life. I don't think. I honestly don't think so.
Especially because that line wasn't even a callback from an Avengers movie. It was from a Captain America movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just, it was brilliant, and it worked so well.
And it's, there's so much in that last hour, really, where you have, Avengers Assemble, and you have the hammer moment, and you're like, I knew it. And, everything about that entire it's 10 years. It's like our podcast. It's all of that has come to this, and this is what we got. And we were rewarded for actually being part of it. I actually feel like Marvel's never going to come close to topping that. I just really feel strongly that they're not going to. But at least at this point, obviously, I'm also drunk, so I'm really just getting emotional right now. But that moment, that entire movie, the last hour, seriously, from that moment where the portals start opening, it's just something that breaks my heart every time I see it, in a great way, in a fantastic way. And I love that the women heroes get their moment as well. Everybody gets their moment in that finale. It's just yeah, we are all in this together. All of your passions for the last 10 years are being rewarded. As a fan, you are fucking loved by Marvel. And
God,
it feels so
with
good.
Black Panther leading all of his Wakandans,
Yeah,
and everybody's chanting that "Bombay." It's like, yeah.
Yes, it's hard not to. And I love watching the audience reaction videos. I'd rather watch that than the actual movie on TV.
I know,
it's insane.
Because everybody is cheering, and you feel like you're right there in there with them.
Oh my God,
it's so amazing, so amazing.
And Spider-Man: No Way Home came really, really close to recapturing that same feeling. And I mean, there were a lot of moments in that movie where I felt the same way. But unfortunately, I don't think the first half really earned as much as Endgame did. Endgame, I feel like earned it more than No Way Home did.
I would concur. I mean, you guys have said quite a bit about it, but for me specifically, going back to the point where...
Well, we knew you weren't going to pick Top Gun. We took a vote.
I actually really liked it.
We agreed that you wouldn't vote for it, though. What?
You the drunk one?
No, I'm completely sober, but I really did like it. Like, I'm looking forward to watching it again.
Wow.
But I went with Endgame because it's so hard to spend that much time, different directors, different creative minds in general, and different casting that's fluctuated throughout that time period, and still have it wrap up where literally everyone is satisfied. It's one of the very few films that I can remember of the last probably 20 years where it was one of the most highly anticipated and also lived up to the expectations of those people.
Yeah,
Anything with Star Wars, even if you talk about Force Awakens, it was so controversial of whether it was good or not. And with Endgame, everybody was there. They were like, we're waiting for this. And this lived up to our hopes and dreams
100%.
Of the past decade.
Yeah.
And that's a huge feat. And so that's why it's my choice.
Good call. Mostly because you agreed. Who's next?
Not a good woman if I don't agree with men.
That's exactly right.
Wow.
I don't think
Brian, you're lucky I love you.
I love you too.
I don't even remember who's gone yet at this point. Who's gone? Troy, have you gone? Troy,
John goes in.
John's ready.
John goes, and I'll take last.
Okay.
John goes with what?
What's your pick?
The answer to the question.
What's your pick?
Oh, my movie? I
That's
can't
your
even talk
cue,
about
John. The people, everybody going, John, go next. That's your cue.
I don't even have any words left to say. Like, I want to agree with everyone about Endgame. It's a great movie. I love it. I think it's of this list probably my favorite. Top Gun Maverick, pretty close. The rest of them I can take. Like, that's all I can say about it. That hasn't already been said already. Thanks, guys.
Good job,
Troy.
All right, buckle up.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh shit! I'm gonna go get a drink.
Oh yeah.
Boy, this big salmon swimming upstream.
I hope it's Jurassic World. I hope he's just gonna be like, "Fuck all of you. Let's get real."
Dinosaurs rule. My name is T-Rex.
All right, Troy Rex.
Actually, the way I looked at this was that it said the question was, "What is the best movie of this?"
Yeah, that's
and when
what it
I
said.
looked at this, I said, "Okay, so if we look at it as a movie, soup to nuts, start to finish." Like, what movies are not using a gimmick or retelling a familiar story? I'm looking at Force Awakens and Maverick, really just updated versions of New Hope. So it's not really a new thing to look at. So where it's an enjoyable movie, it's not a great movie because they're just retelling a story. Same with Jurassic World, just kind of updating what we've already seen before.
Okay.
So that leaves us pretty much with Spider-Man, Avengers, and Black Panther in the Marvel Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Spider-Man gets disqualified because if they don't have the 3 Spidey gimmick, it's really not a great movie. It's the 3 Spidey gimmick that really makes it what it is. I agree with you.
I love that movie, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
So now we're left with Avengers, and Black Panther. Avengers Endgame, yeah, everything you guys are saying about it, it's a fantastic audience experience. It's super, super awesome. The first 40 minutes of that movie is the most drug out bunch of bullshit. Just get to the damn action already. I had to go to the bathroom twice in that opening sequence while I was waiting for, everybody to just like mope around and like cry in their soup and whatever. It's like, get to the freaking time travel stuff already. So Endgame got knocked out. That left me with Infinity War and Black Panther. Now, this was hard, because I really, really, really think I agree with Scott in a lot of ways that with Infinity War ending on that downer note just really makes it just a button on the top. But really, Infinity War is a culmination of a bunch of other things that have happened. So really, it doesn't work without all the other movies. So that leaves Black Panther, which is singularly in itself, by itself, one of the best movies that we've seen in this decade. Because when you think about it, just the heart of that story, Chikala's dealing with the family, dealing with the loss of a parent, being a role model for his sister. The costumes are outstanding. The chanting is outstanding. The battles are outstanding. Everything about that movie just hits on every single cylinder. So as a movie, Black Panther is number one.
So you're a big Lion King fan?
I like Lion King.
So it wins because you got a weak
Because I also like Hamlet.
That's what you're saying.
How many syllables are in Lion King, Aaron?
Don't know. I don't know.
It's a long I and a long O.
No, I can actually understand that. I think Killmonger is probably one of the best Marvel villains that doesn't get the appreciation he deserves too. I think
For sure.
And I don't even love Michael B. Jordan. I feel like he's overrated in a lot of things that he's done, but he is fantastic as Killmonger. I really believe that.
And to your point, Troy, this is the only movie on the entire list that isn't a sequel.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you could maybe say that, hey, it's a Marvel property, you know, you're going to see some characters from there, but everything else is, you know, building off of the story of the others, whereas Black Panther is its own story. So it's, you know, for an original movie to do that well in the box office, it should be, you know, it should be commended.
It should be. I mean, to be fair, Endgame really is capitalizing on 10 years of movies where Black Panther kind of has to live on its own.
Right.
You know, the thing that I loved about Black Panther was more. This is one of those movies that really hit me as far as crowd reactions were concerned. Because when I went to go see it, there were so many people there of color enjoying the movie, and I heard so many different times where, like, on my way out, people saying, okay, well, now I get why people love comic book movies so much more. Like that really connected with them, and it really resonated with them in a way that watching Superman or watching Spider-Man didn't connect with them. So I that's one of the things that I really loved about Black Panther was how it opened up a whole new world to people who didn't understand, because they weren't given the opportunity.
I think that's an important aspect of evaluating movies when we've been bombarded with like the best special effects and writing and all of that from the MCU is to consider the impact. And I think to some extent we've talked about that with Endgame, and now we've talked about it with Black Panther, but movies are supposed to have an impact on us personally, and then to see the impact on an entire society, on the entire planet being impacted by that and getting a new experience that they hadn't had before, like that's a huge undertaking to be able to create that for people. And so even if it's not the selection, you know, for me personally or for Aaron or whatever, I think it was my second because of that same reason.
Well,
so really good choice, Troy.
Like, single me out. I don't want to be part of your fucking discussion.
You're easy to pick on your drum.
Wakanda is just freaking cool.
It's really
just
cool.
say that too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Like
Vibranium all day.
It's just, and the music in that movie, everything just it feels so original, and I just absolutely love that movie. It's one of the most rewatchable Marvel movies for me.
Well, it's original to us. We're the whitest of white. I mean, so I mean, it's true. Nobody wants.
Aaron really has had some drinks.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's truth. God.
Your teeth are really slowing you down right now. Grandpa, you should take those dentures out.
Your teeth are slowing you down. That's like John's got some good one-liners.
Oh,
today.
Speaking of John, it's your turn. What's up?
All right, so I have a question. My question is for you guys.
You better hurry up because my drunk is going strong.
Your drunk is going strong. This is going to be a great one for you, my Irish little friend.
Boy.
Or you German? Who gives a shit?
Swedish.
I am German, Native American,
all of the above.
Irish, Swedish. I've got a lot of stuff in me.
That's a lot of
you
white.
do.
Anyhow, okay.
He's had a lot of stuff in him.
Learn?
And also a lot of, hey, don't be dirty.
It took him 5
That was a
seconds to
good
get that joke.
Yeah.
It's like a joke grenade.
Yeah.
Go
Can
ahead.
we learn about culture from movies and television, and like culture that other cultures produce? So, what have you learned from like foreign films that you never considered before? Let's start with you, Aaron.
Why would you do that to me?
This deep conversation probably should have been at the beginning.
Yeah, really,
Right.
really should have.
Aaron can barely say his own name.
All right, here we go. Okay, so
Andy hates movies with subtitles.
I do hate movies with subtitles. I really do. Although The Handmaiden, fantastic film.
Yeah.
Okay, so Parasite. I learned from Parasite that as somebody who grew up extremely poor, wishing I could be wealthy, that is a universal theme. That is not just beholden to my stature in life, my culture, my honkiness. It is actually something that is universal. And it really, because I totally would have done the same thing those sons of bitches did. In Parasite, I totally respected that cultures across the world suffer from poverty issues. And it's something that really doesn't get addressed very often. And it was nice to see that represented in other cultures. So I didn't feel like it was just, okay, it's just something about, my culture. No, that's all over the world. There are poor people that are treated like shit while rich people just enjoy the sanctities of life while we are struggling to just make it through. I mean, does it make sense? I mean, I'm hoping it does because I'm really not very sober at this point. And I'm going to turn it over to
obvious.
somebody. Hopefully somebody made sense of whatever I just said.
No, it's going to be great. Someone's going to snip that all together and make one cohesive sentence. It's like listening to me stutter.
Thank you. Thank you. You have no idea how much I edit your fucking stutter. So
I have every idea how much you edit my stutter.
I do understand.
Troy, how about you?
All right. I'm actually going to say the
My
answer is yes. You can learn a lot of stuff, especially foreign languages.
Mhm.
So there was actually a study done that people actually can learn foreign languages easier by watching film or television in that foreign language situation. So they watch it like first with the English subtitles, except for Aaron. And then
That's what I learned Dothraki.
And then they watch it with the foreign language.
That's how I learned Dothraki.
Dothraki. Hey, Adrian.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Troy.
Just Dothraki.
And then the second time you watch it with the foreign language subtitles, and then you watch it a third time without any subtitles at all. And you can actually, because the visual medium actually helps you understand the words easier because you're actually experiencing what they're doing. You can pick up the words in the context a lot quicker than trying to learn it the traditional way.
I actually had that written down as well, and I had a second one just in case because I kind of figured somebody was going to say that. So I'm going to go a little bit more broad with my answer because I had a very different sheltered experience growing up. You guys have heard me talk about that on the show. And as a kid, my only real experience with anything in other countries was movies that I watched. And I feel like the way that other countries were portrayed in films in the 80s and 90s were that like everywhere but America is a third world country. So when I got older and started watching, quality foreign films and realizing that that people in other countries are a lot more like me than I realized. And I'm completely owning my ignorance, with my upbringing and everything like that. When I watch foreign films now and I just see people that they live in the same kind of houses. They don't live in huts. They've got skyscrapers in these towns and you know what I mean? That was an eye-opening thing for me. And I think that is one reason why I gravitate towards foreign films a lot more than I did when I was younger. Because number one, I don't hate subtitles like Aaron does, but I also like seeing just what it's like to be on the other side of the planet and learning about just, minor culture things. I mean, I've learned things like we have hand gestures here in America that you wouldn't think would be offensive in other places, but they are. Like you can't.
Aaron's flipping us off.
In Asian cultures, you can't point with one finger at somebody. It's considered rude. Or maybe it's not Asia, but in certain cultures, that's why at Disneyland, they point with two fingers whenever they point at something, because that is a universally threatening or non-offensive hand signal.
Or handshakes even.
Yeah, handshakes, they shake their own hands and bow. Or they've got, like, if you hand somebody money, like in certain cultures, if you just hand somebody money with one hand, that's rude. You have to hand it with two hands. And these are things that I've learned from watching some foreign films, and I just love learning about the world that way.
That's really cool.
Brian? And Aaron is making all kinds of obscene hand gestures that I'm not referring to.
Oh, yeah. I personally like foreign films. It's, kind of sort of to Scott's point, we have a lot of the same issues, and you see there's a lot of great European cinema, Indian movies, Korean, Chinese, Japanese. There's all kinds of Scandinavian. I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff if you're willing to turn on subtitles. And just to limit ourselves to American, typical Hollywood cinema is kind of just kind of putting on some blinders, because you're missing a lot out there. And yeah, I enjoy it. So,
have you seen what is that freaking movie? RRR?
RRR? Yeah, I watched it.
God, that's batshit crazy.
I love it. It is. It is. And you learn a bit of the colonialism issues that went on in India and stuff. There's some historical, so, it's based on historical facts. But
oh, yeah, that's definitely historical.
If anybody does running better than Tom Cruise, it's the Indians. I'm telling you.
Oh, it's funny.
So good. But yeah, there's some crazy action, and even the Russian movies have some amazing action and special effects. Yeah. And
Timur, I think of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Timur, that batshit crazy The Guardians, which is like you've got some guy that turns into a big bear. It's freaking
Night Watch and Day Watch.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some good stuff out there. Definitely, give it a shot. Broaden your horizons a little bit.
Amanda,
one of the things. No, I haven't. I was just about to. So one of the things that Brian, you kind of touched on. Jesus. I'm sorry, am I being so loud? Is
she's got? Can I just point out she's got Cary Grant behind her? Is that like Cary Grant behind you on your video?
I've got here.
That's Cary Grant. And
it's not her video. That's her actual room that she's in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is the movie room. I'm in a movie room.
That's sexy. I don't know where you're at.
What room are you in?
This is where I live.
Wow.
What?
That's sexy.
This is where I watch my movies now.
That's hot.
See the movie lights over here?
Yeah, I mean, it's for some people it's an audio podcast, and they're like, "What the are you talking about?" But yeah, that's cool. I love it. I love it.
I'm sorry. Can we talk about the fact that we always pick on me for mentioning the peasant theater, non-peasant theater, and this person's actually watching movies in a home theater that looks like a home theater?
It looks like a real theater.
It literally, yeah. And the sound system is.
Why do I feel so Poe? I don't like it.
We also talk about how Aaron complained that she's talking about the visualness of her room space when Aaron was the one that brought up the question of why is Cary Grant in the background.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just look, don't judge a guy who's drank more than at least one bottle. At least one bottle.
We're judging.
Yeah.
You
This episode's going to be called
Scott Clark cannot judge
500.
me. Of all the people.
Aaron derails us.
Watching foreign films.
Hashtag drunk Aaron.
Like, episode 500.
Oh my God.
German movie.
Sorry, Amanda. Back to you.
I just want to say, y'all cut me off a lot.
Intervention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amanda, this is what it's like to hang out with you.
Yeah.
I love you too, John.
He's got a point.
Okay, so back to my thought. Before I forget it, y'all. I don't have a good memory.
No, it's fine.
Not only can films teach us, and TV shows teach us about the cultures themselves, like the one that came to mind immediately is Coco. I think for a lot of people in America, they see death as this horrible, sad, just very daunting experience. Whereas
it sucks if it's you. Yeah.
Yeah. But in Mexican culture, you're celebrating the life. You're not doing all of the, I don't know, I'm not going to get into the religious aspect of it, but there's an appreciation for it and a different view of how life evolves that a lot of Americans, Western civilization in general, just doesn't understand north of Mexico. And so the other thing that I think about too with foreign films is not only can you learn about cultures because they're representing culture in the film, but you can also learn about the cultures by the creators. For example, Japanese horror films are completely different than Western horror films. And they take a more psychological look at how they're going to present their horror. And that's why they're scarier, because they want to put forward to you what scares them more so. Like Americans, I feel like we're scared of everything. We want the jump scares and things like that. Maybe not us in particular. But you can see the way a culture or a group of individuals, a demographic, sees things, their perspective based on that filmmaker putting it into play in their movie or TV show. And so I can really appreciate the different perspectives better when I have it coming from a filmmaker who's in that background, or the way they see things versus the way I see things.
It's really great. No, when I was growing up and living in Panama, everything was a foreign film to me in one way, shape, or form or another. And the thing that I always noticed was just how universal themes are when you're watching so many different things from so many different countries. It was great for me because it was all in Spanish, anyways. Because it's some of the best dubbing you're gonna ever get. But
Barco.
Don't you get me going.
Okay,
look, he's in the goddamn movie and he's supposed to be living in goddamn Cuba, and why is it the only word that he can say is like point at the freaking motor in the goddamn car and be like barco, as if it means anything, because he's a freaking chimp who can't do more than just that. Okay.
Did you say he's a chimp?
I did.
Vin Chimpsel.
Vin Chimpsel. All right.
My nose keeps running. It's really annoying.
Chimp Diesel.
All right.
Chimp
Anyhow. Brian, I think you're up for the next
Family.
game. What do you think?
Well, what about Scott?
Yeah, fuck
I
Scott.
answered.
He
I
did.
answered.
Scott's already we've been on this for so long.
Oh,
it's time to
no.
move
There's a discussion. There's a discussion that we're
Yes.
supposed to have.
There is?
on. Yes,
That's
there is
what
a
I meant.
discussion. Yes.
Aaron, you're supposed to lead it.
Right.
I am?
All right. Each
About-
person is going to pick their favorite TV show or movie in the last 11 years.
And
Yay,
movie,
hey,
and movie.
I got this, you son of a bitch. I got it. I got it.
Yeah. I got this, son of a bitch.
Jesus. This is what Brian feels like 90% of the time. Jesus Christ.
You talk over me, because I can do it, okay?
All right, so each person pick your
That's pretty accurate.
pick your favorite TV show
You
and
son of a bitch. I'm talking over
shut
you, okay?
the fuck up. All right, pick your favorite TV show and movie of the past 11 years. Only one of each, please, and any ties will be deleted from the podcast. I'm not convinced of that because I'm pretty drunk and want to edit this and it's going to be shit. So pick one. Favorite movie, favorite TV show of the past 11 years. Scott, you start.
I had to double check because I have a movie, but I'm worried that it's over 11 years now.
Well,
It's
then,
like right on the
Swing it.
fringe.
Nobody's paying attention anyway.
Nah,
Okay,
nobody's,
all right.
unless you get it wrong, then we're going to lambast you.
I mean,
not
you're not
gonna
going to be
rock.
surprised by my answer, because you used to make fun of me for
Scott
my
Pilgrim?
absolute
Was it
adoration
Scott
for
Pilgrim?
this movie. No,
Oh.
Inception.
Is that
I know that
within the
was-
last
That's a
11
good
years?
It was-
Yeah.
12. It was like right 20.
It might be 12, but it I feel like it counts.
It's close enough.
You know
Yeah, I was
what?
gonna
I'm
say
drunk enough that I'm going to let it go. Let it go.
Wow.
All right, so Inception.
So, yeah, I just easily rewatchable. Made me think. I love movies that you walk out of the theater and you're talking to your buddy that you just saw it with and about your theories and what did this mean. And I love thinking movies that also have action. Like on paper, that movie shouldn't work, and it 110% did for me. Am I going to my TV show as well, or are we?
Yeah,
going
no.
on
No.
both
go
at the same
go.
time. But go.
So there should be also no surprise. And
Is
I
this
gotta
like
give
15 years
props
ago?
to-
Is this 20 years ago? Where's this the TV show at?
No, I'm giving props to Brian because he's the one that introduced me to Game of Thrones. The show I've rewatched more than any other show in entirety. I've now read 3 of the books. I'm so into Game of Thrones. So
wait, hang on.
Listen to 3 of the books.
Thank you. You correct yourself. All right.
Yeah.
My wife read
He's
3
drunk,
of the books.
but he's not too drunk to correct you that it's not.
I know the difference.
It's not reading, it's listening.
That is a big difference. My wife has read those books. They are hard books to read. I tried to read one, and I'm like, fuck this. So, but I'm glad you love it. And Brian did sell us. He sold us all on it. Honestly, he was like, you'd think he was George R. R. Martin's fucking personal whore. But
if he was, could you tell him to finish his book?
George R. Martin.
Martin's
sidebar.
He's like a dragon.
He's like a dragon.
Sidebar. How good is House of Dragons?
Oh, it's good.
Ooh, it's
good.
pretty good.
Right.
It's pretty damn
Man.
It's good.
It's not as good as Ring of Power, but it's pretty good.
I would flip that, but all right. You do you.
You
You do.
would you much of anything?
Yeah. No. What? I couldn't hear you. Broke up. You broke up over your nonsense. All right. Who's next?
My nonsense.
Who's next? John, you go. You're talking randomly.
All right. So I mean, I really hate questions like this because it's always like, what is your favorite show? And it's a Sophie's choice kind of. But
It's really not. But okay.
yeah, I mean, because I can always find an excuse to make something my favorite show, depending on whatever it is. But Stranger Things was something that I was shouting for the rooftops for when I saw the very first trailer for it. I knew something in me told me that Stranger Things was going to be great, and I have never been disappointed by that show. And then as far as movies are concerned, I'm going to go with Man of Steel because there's just something about that one that I love so much. I can rewatch it. I just enjoy Henry Cavill as Superman, and I hope that we can get more of that. I
will, just to connect this to our podcast.
Easy for you to say.
It's really not. Justin Cumber wrote a great article on the defense of a dark Superman. If I remember it, that's the title of the article. And I think he wrote it for Geek League of America. It was a really great dissection of why it's important to have a Superman that's fallible. And it's a great piece that he actually wrote. And as a former host, I think it's important to notate that. So I'm throwing that out there while I'm thinking about it, while I'm conscious enough to remember that.
Right on.
He was a great writer. If you never listened to Justin McCumber on the podcast, like if you're somebody that came up in the last few years, Justin and I never really agreed on much, but I would definitely say he was a very good writer, and you should definitely find his books. Stillwater, I think, is a great book. And he also wrote a lot of articles and great reviews. So he's somebody who, what I will say is, while we might not have agreed on a lot of things, his passion for things that spoke to geek culture is unmatched. So there you go.
And just to confirm, it is Geek League of America. It was called In Defense of a Dark Superman, and it was in 2013.
I remember that.
There's a link at the Hollywood Outsider website. You can search for it.
Yeah, go to our website. Fuck their website. Go to ours. Yeah.
Well, it takes you to their website, but so.
But it's a good piece. I mean, it's a really good piece. And
Start in our house, then make it to their house.
Exactly. Exactly. Sorry, John, I wasn't trying to hijack, but it was a good connection piece.
It's always the guy that drinks the most that sits there and starts going, shh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Give me a second. Hold up.
Hang on. Let me do mine because I really have to take a bathroom break. So I'm going to do that while you guys are talking. So my TV show is Game of Thrones. I want to thank Brian Williams personally for that because and he's you can't see the video, but he's shameful that I'm acknowledging him, but it's true. Same thing Scott said. Great. One of the best.
Shameful.
One of the best.
Can I guess your movie? Can I guess your movie?
You can guess. Sure.
It's going to be one of two, but I'm going to say Knives Out.
Nope.
No.
My guess is The Hateful Eight.
Amanda gets it.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah.
Hateful Eight is my favorite movie of the last 11 years because I watch it every Christmas. I went to see it with my family in the Quentin Tarantino roadshow format that he had rolling out. It's one of my personal favorite memories of film in the last decade. I saw it with my entire family, And I've watched it every Christmas since. I absolutely love that movie. I think I like it more every time I watch it. It's everything I love. It's Agatha Christie. It's Western. It's just beautifully shot. The composition is beautiful. The storytelling is wonderful. Samuel Jackson is fantastic. And it's got Kurt fucking Russell. I don't know how you get better than this movie. It's fantastic. It's my favorite movie of the last decade by far.
Nice.
By far.
Would you say it's in like your top 5 of all time?
I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely my top 5. It's definitely my top movie of the last decade, but not my, I don't know. It'd be in my top 10. It'd be my top 10 because it has so many memories for me. And, you know, going to see it with my entire family, with my brother, my mother, my father, my kids, myself, my wife, everybody went to that movie together. And it was just something. Brian, don't fucking laugh at me. God damn it. I'm trying to tell you something
It's
personal.
so sweet, but you're slurring. It's so sweet. But
I'm
you're
trying
slurring.
my best.
He had to listen. I went to
that
see
he
it with
went.
myself.
Exactly. That's what I was like.
Were
you
my
there?
brother,
Are you
my
sure you were
cousin,
there? Are you
my whole family tree went.
I was there.
This must be how Brian felt on every episode we've done before. So
You mentioned that 12 times. Good job.
yeah, God damn it. That's all I got.
There. My other brother Daryl was there.
You haven't passed out yet, so you're a leg
haven't.
up on Brian.
All right. It's my bathroom break and it's your time, John.
Go. Oh shit! Now that he's gone, can we get this show going? Come on. All right. You know what? Who hasn't gone yet?
Troy, go ahead. John,
Sounds good.
Yeah, you went. So Troy, go for it.
I was like bouncing all over the place because I had like, you know, Orphan Black was really good, and I just saw Coda recently, which was really good. But when it came down to it, I was like, you know, Cobra Kai for a show that was supposed to be on a YouTube streaming thing that was never going to make sense. The fact that that first season just works so freaking well, and that they've done 5 total now. It is the only show that I've actually sat down and binged watched the entire thing in like one sitting every single season. So I'd have to say Cobra Kai for the TV show, and then A Quiet Place, 1 and 2, because when you combine both of those movies, it's the length of an actual movie that comes out today. Because they understood the concept of how to make a 90-minute movie really good and cut the fat both times. But I think A Quiet Place was just a really interesting way to do film, to have that quiet experience the entire time, and like nobody would say anything in the theater. It's like it was a quintessential theater experience, and I got to see the first one with Aaron actually, so it was really, really good time.
Nice.
A Quiet Place was an interesting pick of yours because I think, first of all, I don't think any of us expected that to be your choice. But you mentioned how the entire theater was silent. I vividly remember watching it, the first one, and having it like nobody was even eating popcorn.
Right.
It was like you couldn't even move in your seat in case it made a little creak or something. Everyone was just completely still and quiet, waiting to see what would happen. And that's huge for kind of creating a new area of horror films. But Cobra Kai...
It's kind of sad that we have to make a movie like that in order for people to shut the hell up in the theater. But yeah.
I didn't see a single phone. And
That's
even though
cool,
Aaron's not here, he would probably bump in and promote himself that he did the panel for Cobra Kai and had a good time and met Ralph and Billy Zabka.
It's just it's really good. Like for them to
Poet Williams
to pull the characters that they've pulled from the movies and continuously do that every season, and it's not like a shameless plug or a throw-in. It actually fits the story at the time it hits. It's just so well done that even this 5th season I just finished, you know, obviously on Friday, and it was really, really, really good.
How much longer do you think it's going to last?
Yeah,
I think one
there's
more.
Not many more people they can pull from the
No,
movies anymore.
I think when you see season 5 and understand what they were trying to accomplish and get to, this is the pinnacle. Like
it's all fun and games.
Season
until
6 has got to be
Hillary
it.
Shows up.
Real quick, yeah, mine's Game of Thrones as well. Echoing everything everybody else has said. You know, just every single scene, whether you realize it or not when you're originally watching each episode, every single scene is important. Every single piece of dialogue is important. And it may not you may not see that importance for 2 or 3 seasons later, but everything is tied together and done in such a masterfully way. And after a rewatch, the last 2 seasons that everybody complains about, they fucking work. Get over your fucking self. They work, and they work well. So as far as the movie goes, honestly, I had to go with a movie I've probably rewatched maybe 10 times, a dozen times, and that's 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
That's a great one.
Wow.
Yeah, you got John Krasinski, you've got guys that you've seen, like James Badgedale, Max Martini, Pablo Schreiber. Of course, it's directed by my man, Michael Bay. I love some explosions.
My man.
But,
My man.
But it's such kind of back to the rewatchability stuff. There's so much action. There's so much quick dialogue and everything going on so fast that you miss stuff. And then so you rewatch it again, you pick up on little bits that you missed the first maybe a couple of times around. So, and I also love a good story. I love the few against the many. You give me any kind of story like that, the 300 type stuff. You got a handful of people against, an unsurmountable odds. I just love those kinds of stories. So 13 Hours.
Those are good picks.
Thank you.
I would add for mine, my favorite TV show of the past 11 years is Schitt's Creek. It is one that I literally cannot. Ew, David. I cannot stop watching it. It's perfect to like engage with and watch the story, but it's also perfect to just have as like background noise. And it doesn't get old to me. I always laugh every time a joke comes on, even though I've seen it 14 times. I know it's a little bit more recent, but it did have significant number of seasons. And I just really appreciated that characters that I would normally hate and despise and like maybe even kind of look down on, like you're going to be sad about losing your precious mansion, but learning to appreciate people for who they are and watching them grow. And I also just really liked that there was insight and an appreciation for not having to have it all. As you get towards the end of the show, David makes a significant choice to either go back to the life he had or keep the life he has now. And I think in a lot of ways, we all think that money and wealth is going to bring us happiness. And it takes a lot of changes for you to realize that it does help. But it's not the end all be all. There's other things that can make you happy. So I just really love that show. And the movie that I chose is one that impacted me just because of the way that it was presented, but also because prior to the last, I don't know, maybe 6 years, I didn't understand the significance of it. And that's Coda. But after having a mom who, and after having my mom who is now, she's not deaf, but she has significant hearing loss. Like she doesn't have her hearing aids in. I can't talk to her at all. She won't be able to hear me. And just putting myself in that position of a child who grew up from the beginning with parents who couldn't hear you and being able to having to navigate their business for them while also trying to aspire for your own individuality and your goals and dreams. That's something that a lot of people don't have to take on, but there are people who do. And I think it was really important to see that story and also get the representation of people whose first language isn't English in America. They go through that similar battle where their children are having to translate and be there to assist in so many ways, because unfortunately, America, unlike most of the other developed countries, doesn't put an emphasis on learning other languages, including sign language. And so I really just appreciated the hell out of that movie. And if you haven't watched it, please go watch it on Apple TV Plus. I think it's still on there. So it was a wonderful movie.
Fantastic movie.
Great movie.
Is that
you're going to be sad now, though, because Netflix got rid of Schitt's Creek, so you can't watch it.
I know, man.
So
Fuck
sad.
Netflix.
So sad. It's on Hulu though. You can still watch it on Hulu.
It's literally going to go from Netflix to Hulu like the same day. I mean, that's
I
what I'm talking
know.
about.
Such a good show.
never
I've
really
rewatched it
gone.
like 4 times now. It's so sad. So sad. Is that everybody? I was gone for a little bit.
I think so.
Yep.
That's
God,
everybody.
Brian, is this what you feel like on a regular basis when you do these? That's a lot.
All right. So
we're not at the 2-hour mark yet. So
Brian, it's your
wrap it up. We
turn.
got 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
all right. So next up, it's my turn in the barrel here. So we've got Brian's movie multiverse. So what I want you to do is reimagine a popular or famous movie as a completely different genre. Then give just a very short synopsis or description about it. For instance, John Wick as a rom-com, or Top Gun as a horror movie, or Notting Hill as an action flick.
Toy Story as a porn.
Whatever floats your boat.
I mean,
there.
his name's Woody.
Troy, why don't you lead us off this?
All right. I said, let's make City Slickers a horror movie.
Ooh.
3 friends escape to the west to
Okay.
get away from the scariest things in their lives, their significant others. Little did they know that the man they hired for a traditional cattle drive was not really the man to lead this quest. Each of the friends is picked off one by one, and it's only after our protagonist swims across the river, drowning a helpless calf in the process, that he
Jesus.
escapes this
Okay.
Western-sized nightmare.
All right, that's a full-on synopsis. All right. Good job.
Fucking evil. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's drowning a calf on the way. Jesus.
Scott, what you got?
Fuck you.
Well,
That's
this
pretty
one's a callback for you, Brian. Imagine if the movie Melancholia
Ooh.
had a decent script.
Wow.
No, I actually do have a real answer, but I had to throw that one in there because that movie, I just love the whole concept.
I
and the movie was horrible.
Flipping through HBO the other day, I saw they just added it on HBO Max, and when I saw it, I immediately started chuckling for that reason.
No, my actual answer is I want Titanic to be remade as a zombie movie instead of a love story.
Oh,
Interesting.
So
Ooh.
imagine, everyone's on a cruise. The captain of the ship is the first one to get the first one that is infected with this virus. He doesn't know he's
All right.
infected when he gets on, and slowly the crew starts to become infected. So now the passengers are stuck on a cruise liner.
you sold me, but that's it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm giving the green light.
Yeah, don't even need to hear the rest.
I
of
am
it,
the captain now.
I just like the concept of there's a horrifying possibility that we're going to crash this thing, which obviously would happen because it's the Titanic. But
Yeah.
now not only are we running for our lives, but we're trapped on this ship full of zombies as well.
Ooh.
Yeah,
just
you're
think
trying to
that would
run
be-
through the passageways trying to get
Yeah.
out. All of
Yeah,
a sudden,
yeah.
there's 3 or 4 zombies there.
Would the zombie share the fucking door? That's what I want to know. Would the zombie share the fucking door? God damn it.
Manda, what you got?
So my choice is to turn Bridesmaids into a horror movie.
Jesus, it is.
Yeah. Well, so there's going to be
Depending on who you are, yeah.
there's going to be someone who is starting to kill off the significant others of the bridesmaids.
Oh.
And so they kind of feel like there's a target towards them and they're not sure who it is or what's going on.
It's the
And-
bride.
Whoever catches the bouquet
Well,
is next.
I want it to be either the bride or one of the bridesmaids, somebody in the group. And it kind of starts to narrow down as they're going through it. But I want to keep a lot of those core moments in there. So like when they're in the bathroom shitting all over the place and vomiting, like I want that to really happen. But as they're trying to escape someone trying to kill them, like they have to battle a choice. You have to make a decision here.
I'm trying to escape. Oh, God.
Like, do you stop in the
Lava.
bathroom or do you shit yourself as you're running? I feel like that might be entertaining. So
I'm in.
I've always wanted
like-
to do that.
It's like the human centipede,
Shit
but
while
it's a
you're
horror
running.
movie.
I think that
Yeah.
trash box of flies. Just bend over and just projectile diarrhea all over the place.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. That was so dark.
Oh my gosh. I went with something pretty simple. I've got the Batman v Superman movie
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
from a few years back, but we make it since the V
With a better script.
with a better script. Since the V indicates more of a legal action, right?
I know where this is going.
Instead of verses, I make it a legal comedy in the vein of My Cousin Vinny.
I love this.
That's pretty
Totally
great.
Batman
more
sues
watchable.
Superman? That's awesome.
They're arguing back. They're arguing. Of course, their teams are arguing back and forth. There's really no action in this movie at all. There's no fighting. It's just legal battle. It's a courtroom drama. Exactly.
Batman's
Courtroom
suing because
drama,
you destroyed my
yeah.
building. You destroyed my business. Come on, Superman. You owe me.
Right. Exactly.
I would watch
So,
the shit
That's
out
really
of
funny.
that.
I like
I
that.
would watch
Yeah,
that.
it works.
Great idea.
But did the
Johnny.
tracks match the Batmobile? That's really
Right. Exactly. Does this heat signature match Superman's laser eyes?
It's all Martha's fault.
Johnny, what you got?
It's Martha's
So-
fault. She set one of them up
Yep.
and trying
Right.
to figure out.
God damn it, Martha.
So
She
Martha's
ends
the
up being
Martha's the
the one
lead
that
lead
My
witness for
biological
both
clock is ticking. Yeah.
No, that could be your you
Wow.
can't handle the truth moment. It's like, why did you say that name?
right.
Yeah, that's
And
perfect.
then the other Martha walks in. Boom.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love it.
All right, so I want to take.
The other Martha from the other movie. Like not even the same actress, like the other actress. That'd be great.
Johnny.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Practical Magic and turn it into a horror flick. But the people who you're rooting for are the witches, and not the people you think that you're rooting for. So
I like it.
you got a friendly family of witches, and they had been cursed over the years. They're still technically cursed now, and you've got 3 generations living under the same roof. The two of these witches, and their secret of the fact that they're witches gets out to the rest of the townies that surround this house, and the rest of the town decides, let's reenact Salem. Come on, everybody! It's Salem all over again, and the whole movie is them trying to defend themselves from a whole horde of people who want to just get them and to burn them at the stake.
I like it.
All right. Aaron, what you got?
Well, I got a movie. That's what I got.
Yeah.
So
Oh boy!
I'm
Everybody,
gonna
buckle in.
Okay, so I had
strap
to
in.
Google something real quick.
Strap
Not to
in.
be an asshole.
Oh,
Hold
too
on.
late.
Witches weren't actually burned at the stake. It's popular belief is that they were, but they were actually hung. They died by hanging.
Shut
Well,
up.
pirates didn't make people walk the plank either, so shut the fuck up.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm trying
Thank
to bring
you.
facts here.
Nope. Nobody wants
Why
you
start
here.
an hour
Come
and 50
on.
minutes into
Yeah.
this podcast?
Nobody wants that nonsense. Jesus.
Look,
They're
it's
gonna
an
remake Pirates
interesting
of the
fact I
Caribbean
found out
with
recently.
witches.
Okay.
And they're
Oh
gonna
my-
hang them from the plank.
You found out when you just Googled it because you're like, fuck
No, I
John.
had heard
John's
it.
got
I
to
had
be
heard
wrong
it.
about something.
Witches
No, I
are
heard it
amok.
recently. Ooh, that was good. No, I heard about it recently, and I was like, wait a second. I thought someone just corrected me and told me that witches weren't actually burned at the stake, and I was like, what the hell? I've been
Wow.
lied to my whole life.
They were in my house. All right. So Real Genius. That's the movie I want to redo, but not as a comedy. I want it to be like a really dark thriller. Collection of geniuses are being used to create a military weapon without their realization. So once they do, keep in mind I'm trying to read this. I can't read. They hatch a plan to bring down the entire organization behind their manipulation. Much more of like a sneakers type vibe. So that's what I want to do. I want to do Real Genius as a really, really, really dark thriller.
Say real genius again.
Fuck you. Real Genius. Yes. Or I want Clue as a straight up murder mystery. Either way.
Okay. All right.
This is why we're friends, because those are 2 of my all-time.
Did he
favorite
just do an
movies.
honorable mention?
Yeah, I
he
did. I did.
did.
But I barely can speak, so I don't know if it counts. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know.
Honorable mention.
Hey, what has been? Is that it? Is that everybody?
That's it. We can get.
That's it.
Hey.
That's it. That's why I saved you for last. Okay,
Hey.
segue into the-
Hey,
Hey.
hey.
What has been your favorite?
Okay.
Shh. Shh. What has been your favorite movie or TV lines that you've started to
Why are
use?
you whispering?
Shut the fuck up. What is it? What has been your favorite movie or TV lines you've started using in your own vernacular that released during this podcast?
Oh boy.
My number 1 is ew, David.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I was saying ew from like the Jimmy Fallon skit.
No, it's when Schitt's Creek does it, it's man, Annie Murphy just knows how to.
She's like charming.
Ew, David. Like it's really it is. It's very charming, but also kind of like ew, David.
Also, instead of saying baby, like when I talk about like a friend's baby,
baby,
baby, fold in the cheese. David.
Schitt's Creek is amazing. I feel bad for anybody that can't, and I hate to say it because I'm one of those people where I'm like, if it ain't 2 episodes, I ain't watching it. I totally understand where you're coming from, but that is a show where if you get past the first season, it starts becoming fucking magic. Absolute magic. And I have not cried in a comedy ever until that show. I mean, and I just
want to go on the record. I want to go on the record and say that Aaron has done this to me twice.
What's
where
that?
He said, like, if you just get through the first season.
I don't normally
every time
do
I
that,
say
though.
That, Aaron says, fuck you, Troy.
You do that with every show. Every show that you like, you're like, just get to the first season.
I say, get to like episode 4 or 5. You're like,
no, you're like, get through the whole season.
Bad, and Breaking Bad will be great.
It is
like,
great.
Give up on 2.
It is great. Everybody agrees it's great. Everybody agrees. Schitt's Creek is great.
I'm just telling you, you're not
and like
allowed, you're not
once you get to like
to give up
you get
2
to,
episodes anymore.
You get to season 2, and then you get to the finale, and you're like full on bawling. There's literally emotional, just like a waterfall of emotion throughout the season. Once you get past that, like it's phenomenal.
O's of emotion.
I hate sitcoms. I fucking hate them, and I love that show. I've rewatched it 4 times.
Well, you know what, Aaron? If you just get to the first season of The Leftovers, I promise you that it will actually be great in season 2, and you'll be bawling your eyes out in season 3.
See, you lost.
So hold on. Let me read you just one moment to
Lost
convince
me.
you. And I just happened to like bring up a random one on Google, but it's funny as shit. The parents are saying, I would never just abandon you two in a motel in the middle of nowhere. And David said, didn't you once take the wrong baby home from preschool? And she said, Alexis looked Chinese as an infant. How many times must I defend myself? Jesus Christ.
But are you using that in your own vernacular? That was the question.
Right.
I'm just bringing up to
great
of the
show. The lines, and it's not even like there. It's hard to describe. It's just it becomes emotional. You become connected to the characters after a while, and you just start believing in them and hoping for the best for them. And then as they find love, and they treat like a relationship. God, this is drunk, so I hope this comes out right. They treat a relationship of the same sex just like every other relationship in the world, which is totally different than every other TV show in the world presents it. So it presents it as normal, and it's like the way that it should always be presented. And that's why it's so freaking beautiful, is because they're not trying to make a statement out of it. They're just saying, this is how normal people feel. And that's why the show is so beautiful. It's because these are fucked up people that have normal relationships, and if you just believe in love and faith, you will get through whatever it is you're going through. And that's why that show is so great, because it's, I don't know if it made any sense, but it made sense to me in my head. I'm
glad you liked the show, but that was 2 questions ago when you were in the bathroom, so let's get back to the actual question at hand.
Fine. Favorite lines. Go, Troy. Go.
I use Not My Tempo from Whiplash.
That's
not
good
quite
one.
My tempo.
That's good.
I
That's
use Look at Me, I'm the Captain Now. That one's pretty obvious.
I use that all the time. Do you use the fingers when you do it?
I do.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I'm the Captain Now. I am Groot.
That's good.
Just randomly. And then I also, whenever I have to try to fix something, I always like, I'm going to have to science the shit out of this.
That's good. Scotty, what do you got?
I've just got one from when we started doing this. All my other ones are well before we started doing the podcast. But I don't know if anybody here has watched the show Letterkenny. But
unfortunately, I have.
I've watched like the first season.
So like anytime anybody says the phrase "to be fair," I can't help it. I just go "to be fair." To be fair, to be fair.
No,
I just can't do it.
To be fair,
I love the face that goes with it.
You also use a lot of the league, and I think that was during our run, right? The league was during our run.
That's true. I use a lot of the league.
You
I
use a
forgot
lot of
about
the
that.
league. Yeah.
Oh man.
League is so
helmet
good.
to helmet contact. Oh man, that's a show. I wish that dude hadn't jacked that up and made that show go away, because they could still be making that show.
That show was
God,
good.
made me laugh so,
so funny.
much.
That's so
Freaking Taco. To be fair, I don't even like that show that much, but that whole concept of like whenever someone says to be fair, it's got to sound fancy. I've got one of my students doing it, and I feel really guilty about that.
You should feel like a horrible person.
whenever we do anything with like we were doing an activity where I had them, I was teaching them how to use text to speech on their computers, where like you can, or the other way around, where they can type and then it would actually read it to them.
Sure.
And you can choose the accent, and one of them is a British accent. And this girl goes, in my class, she goes, "It just sounds so fancy." And I was like, I couldn't help it. I went, "Yeah, to be fair," and now she's doing it, and I feel really bad. I really hope her parents haven't seen that show, and she's going home and saying, "Mr. Clark is funny. He said to be fair."
He's referencing Letterkenny. What the fuck is kind of teacher is this? John, what do you got? What do you use?
You know, I've racked my brain on this one up and down the street to try to figure it out. There's not a lot that I use anymore.
That's too bad.
Huh?
That's too bad. That's too bad.
And you know, the thing is like, there's probably a lot that I do use. I just don't realize I'm using it.
Probably.
I just thought of one, and it's actually thanks to Scott Clark.
Oh, boy.
Is it one that I use or one that you
Get him
use?
excited. Go ahead.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh yeah.
You're tearing me apart.
Tearing me apart.
Oh, you know, I do have one.
in this house. That is used
From the room.
I don't know why anybody hasn't said this one yet, but family.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Yes.
It's on my fucking list. It's on my list.
Scott and I did shots to the franchise.
Oh yeah, lots of Corona was drank that day.
That's a lot of Corona. Brian, what about you?
I say, go back to
for
Lisa,
me,
I do have a friend named Mark, so I do always say, "Oh, hi, Mark."
Hi, Mark.
I want a friend named Mark too.
Oh, yeah. No, for me, it's the best animated show comedy that
Archer.
Yeah, for the last 10 years is Archer.
Oh yeah, that's how
I do
you
use
get
that
ants.
one actually. Yep.
It's phrases like "You're not my supervisor."
Yep. All right. Yep. I just remembered a whole bunch that I used from that show.
We play Xbox every fucking Wednesday, and
Phrasing,
Brian or
yeah.
Kabashi on the Xbox is always throwing that out there. You're not my supervisor. It's like constantly.
I love that.
And Danger Zone. So yeah, there's a dozen more, but yeah, it's Archer is one of my biggest quote inspirations here.
Mhm.
I've never even seen that show, and I still regularly use "You want ants?" That's how you get ants.
Yeah, that's how you get ants.
That's how you get ants.
Yeah, that's actually from like the first season, like the first few episodes. But yeah, it's it's you would love it. You would love
Yeah.
it. I promise you.
I'll add it to
I'm
the
not going to
list.
buy you shit if you don't like it, but I promise you you'll like it.
Pay for a month of
Also-
Netflix.
Right?
Pretty sure it falls in the time frame, but you smell like beef and cheese, and you sit on a throne of lies.
That does not fall in the timeline.
No, it
well,
doesn't.
that
It's
I
not.
started using it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
isn't that what the
Sure.
qualifying
Yeah,
is?
yeah. I gotcha. I got I don't want to survive, but I want to live from 12 Years a Slave. I use that all the time.
How many years was that?
Wow. Jeez.
12 Years a Slave.
What kind of conversations are you having?
Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Good Lord. Captain Depresso? I mean,
Every time he goes backpacking, I don't want to survive. I want to live.
I want to
The only-
live.
I want
The
to
only-
live.
Not only that, but who do you know that's gonna like brag about quoting a line from 12 Years a Slave?
Right. What? Amistad wasn't good enough for you?
Schindler's List wasn't available.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I can do this all day. Check my undercarriage. Those are a couple.
Oh,
Check my
that's a good one.
undercarriage.
Feel that steam heat?
Stevie coming from my undercarriage. You
Oh,
ain't.
I'm gonna climb that like a tree later. I use that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna climb that like a tree later.
really had me second
Broke a
guessing
lot of
my,
shit.
my conversation.
Broke a lot of shit. Pinballed my way down between the cruise ships.
Oh, shit. I'm so drunk. Okay. I think we're good. I think we've covered the base. I think everybody wants to go to the bathroom at this point. And my
Aaron
God.
needs to go to bed.
I need to go to
You've
bed.
been like 3 times. So.
My God, I gotta pee. I'm gonna pee in this fucking solo cup here in a second. So, everybody, thank you.
I'm going to text your wife and tell her to come help you up the stairs.
Thank you
Solo cup.
so much for listening. Shut up, John. Share your thoughts on this episode or anything else in the Facebook group. We're on Twitter at Buy Popcorn. Our site is thehollywoodoutsiders.com. Blah, 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 blah. Remember, everybody, send me into the theater. Buy popcorn. That's it. Episode 500. Episode. Woo! We did it. We did it. And
to be fair,
am
To be fair,
I am
I'm going to do that shit now.
so drunk. I'm going to go pass out right now. I love all of you, and thank you guys for doing this with me. So thank you.
I love all of you.
I'm going to go pass out now. So I love you guys. I think we're good.
All right.
We love you
Ladies,
too.
guys.
Bye.
Love you too.
see you guys later.
Enjoyed it.
All right.
Good seeing y'all.
Good
guys.
seeing everybody. Love you.
Good night, guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, that's going to do it for the regular episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We tried to have as much fun as humanly possible on The Hollywood Outsider, always available at thehollywoodoutsider.com. And you can get the complete uncut version of this episode on Patreon. Patreon.com/thehollywoodoutsider is the only place you're going to hear the full uncut episode. You'll never hear it on a regular podcast feed. But patreon.com/thehollywoodoutsider if you want to check out the uncut feed, get a lot of bonus content, including Bad Movie Night, long before it ever goes to public feeds. Or you could just support the show. Just help us out. But we're not done yet. Now we have a collection of outtakes and snippets and clips from 500 episodes. Now, greater concentration in the last 100 episodes just because, we've had compilation outtake clips from every 100 episodes. So this is like a big Mamba Jamba one. This is like, I don't know, near an hour of outtakes and clips. And I think a lot of it is just fun. Just sit back, get ready to have a good time. This is the Hollywood Outsider at its finest? ? And we'll be back next week, as always, with a new episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope it's been worth the wait. Sorry for the delays, but trying to corral 5 people together is very, very difficult. Okay. Thanks, everybody, and have a wonderful time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the show and celebrating the show with us. We loved having you along for the ride. Here we go. Wait.
Whoa!
The Price is Right?
Come on down.
Whoever needs coke.
It's so bad.
It sounded like you just did Grandma Needs. That's what it sounded like you said.
Well, we're going to talk about The Expendables 3. Brian saw The Expendables 3. I did too, but I'm going to abstain. To explain the movie, we thought we would bring back a guest because of popular demand. So just to drop by. This is the last time he's probably going to drop by, so I hope you enjoy his presence.
I'm so excited.
I want you guys to hear Sylvester Stallone tell you all about Expendables 3. Here you go.
Yo, guys, how you been? It's been a while since I've been on your show, but I thought I'd come by just tell you about my new movie. It's called The Expendables 3. Because there's so many unanswered questions from 1 and 2. We knew we had to make a part 3, Hey, we got Mel Gibson. He stars as Conrad Stonebase, This guy's was thought dead by my character, and once I find out he's alive, I grab some younger kids like Ronda Rousey and that twinkly fucker from Twilight. We go all Braveheart on him, It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys you like this movie. Big fan of it. Apparently, not many of you motherfuckers went and saw it, but that's cool, right? Love the show. Take it easy, hoes. I gotta get back to work on my new feminist picture. It's called The Expendables. I think you broads are gonna love it. Fly out, yo.
Oh my. Guys are gonna get me fired.
You've been rickrolled.
And presenting Hitchcock.
I always forget that one.
You're the worst co-host.
I am presenting Hitchcock.
That intro is pretty funny.
Thank you.
You must really love that show.
Yeah, right. He loves doing it so much he forgets he's on it.
I do love doing that show, but I only do it once a month, so I do kind of forget sometimes.
All right, so I have a confession to make. So what was so choice this year is 3 men and a baby. I mean, how rad it is. These 3 dudes, they're swingers. They have this awesome apartment. They got paintings on the wall. And then this baby comes along and they put their swinging life on hold. Even.
So, are you guys ready to rock?
All right.
Are you ready to rock? Were you born ready?
I was not born ready, but I've gotten ready over the years.
I have gotten myself accustomed.
I'm trying to save you a little bit of stuff later. Tom Hanks returns as a symbologist, not a symbolist.
What did I put symbolist?
Yeah, I don't know if you thought he was like in the orchestra.
I've been in those shoes. You don't want your dad to say something that puts you in a pit of despair, you know?
I can't find it, dude. All I see is pictures of Hot Pockets.
Of Hot Pockets?
She's got Hot Pockets on her Facebook wall.
Oh, is that what the girls are calling it now?
That's a vagina, Scott.
I guess the saving grace with a place that only sells coffee is at least it's going to be affordable, right?
Well, it has to. This is the Hollywood Outsider, weekly movie and TV podcast. For this week, we are looking at upcoming releases, The Wolverine and the to-do list.
Hey, that doesn't suck.
Oh,
yeah!
This week or the week before?
While we're correcting stuff,
yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
It's actually Henry Cavill, not Cavill.
Is it?
It is.
Well, why don't you wait till we get to the actual show? And
we're all in. Hey, here's where everybody's fucked up. So I'm jumping on this bandwagon, bitches. I'm taking the horses and I'm.
Is it the in front of Wolverine that's fucking you up, man? Because that seems to be about where you're fucking up.
Taking the off.
And we're going to see the Wolverine.
Today, Junior.
Are you going to kill me again?
Just make sure, Mr. Breather, your nose whistling's not in there. That's usually what I'm getting rid of whenever you run. That or the.
Hey, it's like a good German engine. It starts to make a weird noise every now and again.
You got it, Rick Dalton. I got you. All right, here we go. Sorry, does that mean? I don't know. Is it okay to make fun of stutter? Is that like offensive? I don't know.
Probably,
you can call
but
me
he's
chubby.
the one who gets to decide.
Yeah.
You're not chubby
I'm pretty sure
anymore.
I wear smaller jeans than you do now.
That's true.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, we wore the same pair of jeans around the time of the cruise, and I've lost weight since then, so I actually have to be smaller now.
So now he's calling you fat.
I feel like you're calling me tubby. Or is it tubby?
Oh, wow.
Ooh!
Sorry, I couldn't hear it past the chub.
Are you fucking deleting my posts and then not telling me you're deleting my posts?
I'm rubbing off on my students.
What?
No.
Whoa!
You need to not rub your students at all.
No, listen to me, you jackass.
You should learn how to word
Don't be rubbing them on or off.
You know this is creepier in person than it is over the radio?
It is kind of creepier in person.
You say creepy, I say erotic.
My line comes from Professor Dumbledore, and he said...
Of course.
It's hard to find a creepy Dumbledore line. I looked through them. This is the only one I could find.
I hope it's not the one I have. Let's go.
What happened down in the dungeon?
Damn it! Start over.
What happened down in the dungeon between you and Professor Quirrell is a complete secret. So naturally, the whole world knows.
Son of a bitch. Now I got to find something before you get to me on the third one.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but you guys are really low. I'm trying to figure out a volume issue.
What?
Huh?
Dickheads.
Here's one of the directors of the Blair Witch Project, Eduardo Sanchez. Hey, Eduardo.
How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Heather's monologue with full-on snot is one of the most iconic in film history, I'd say, at this point. Did you guys have any idea how impactful that would be at the time?
Yes.
Did you? Really?
I mean, you mean before we shot it?
Well, I mean, afterward, like after you saw it, did you realize, wow, this is going to hit?
after we saw it, we were like, our jaws were on the ground. I think that when we first watched it, we had to kind of pause it because it was a lot longer and it was just so painful. But we knew, look, we hired Heather because she was a hell of an actress, and we knew that she was going to like take us to a place where like few actresses were like willing to take us. And I think being a woman, actress with, like I said, with two men, two co-leads, and a crew, like, she really made herself available and like really opened up to, the possibilities of the movie. And, the movie wouldn't have done anything without her, without her performance. So when we wrote those things where it's like, the note was like, you're going to die out here. You're like, this is not normal. Something is haunting you. Something is hunting you. And you don't know how many days you have left out here. I want you to go out, when Mike is doing something, go out somewhere, where he can't hear you, point the camera at yourself, and just give us your last, will and testament, basically. Like you're dying, you're gone. This is the last thing that you're going to say to people. So, when we saw it, it's like a 12-minute monologue or something. It's long, but we were just like, obviously the snot, but again, man, like what actress
would do that, would let herself do that.
Like to me, and she showed us that in the audition space, man, where like she like, actually we have some video of it. We have some video VHS behind the scenes of like one of her like callbacks. And she scared the crap out of me, man. And then we were like in some rehearsal space in New York City, with the AC, running and, traffic sounds and shit. And she was like, I just remember like, and Dan and I were like, holy crap, this woman is going to, she's going to take us to places that we never thought possible. So, it was kind of it was everything that we expected and so much more,
When it hits about July, you'll be thinking 75 with fond memories.
I'll absolutely be like, 75. That's 25 degrees or less. I would kill for that.
I would literally kill. Test me, God. I saw this shirt the other day that said, in math class, they call me Macklemore because I'm always what?
This one I can participate in.
Okay.
French toast, pancakes, waffles, all of them with strawberries and blueberries. That's my jam. And cinnamon rolls.
Jam doesn't hurt either.
So all carbs. Jam.
Yes. Also,
so what you're saying, your favorite
browns?
Your favorite breakfast foods are syrup, is what I'm actually understanding.
This podcast has turned me on to the Dresden Files and Jack Reacher series. What other books do you recommend? The Bible, obviously. Jeez.
The Bible?
On Hulu. And if you saw the original, there's no way they can make it worse. So there's a good chance this could be great.
That does sound like a good time.
It's awesome. They take literary characters. It's like a literary character adventure that's akin to Avengers. That's something I think people should get excited about.
I think a lot of people will get excited about that.
They better.
We have some smarter generations coming in who like to read.
Do you think so?
I think so. You just have to put it on the
internet. What do they read?
Wikipedia?
Like 140 characters? I don't consider that reading.
No, they read Wikipedia pages.
They listen to audiobooks these days. That's more popular than reading.
It's time efficient.
That's not reading, though.
It kind of is. It's comprehension still.
It's like you want to be as cool as podcasts, but not as informed. Sure.
This could have the possibility of actually being pretty fantastic for Bob's Burgers fans.
I've seen this trailer now at least 10 times, and I've not liked it once.
Because you're not a
Ditto.
Bob's Burgers fan.
I just said that. I've never seen it. That's why I can't put emphasis on it. You want me to sell a movie that I don't care about the car? I just don't care.
Yes.
God,
people want to hear
Burgers are coming out, people. The Belchers are trying to say the restaurant from closing. The sinkhole forms in front of it. Why wouldn't you go see this? The kids are trying to help. They want to solve the mystery and save their family's restaurant. Jesus Christ, go see it. Is that better? Take a listen to our interview with actor Sean Marr. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Aaron. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Good.
See, the one thing that, especially with you, because you have this juggernaut in your past career, So that always comes up, and I feel like it gets almost too much attention sometimes. But I feel like if I don't ask at least one Firefly question, then the audience will be mad at me. So I tried to find something you haven't been asked, and you've been asked literally everything. Is that difficult to a degree, I would imagine? You almost have to make it sound fresh. And I know people don't realize that's a difficult job to do. It's almost harder than acting.
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah. I mean, when we talk, Firefly is just this unique experience in that every time I'm asked, are you sick of being asked? I truly, truly, truly answer wholeheartedly, no. I'm not sick of talking about it. I'm not sick of telling the same stories. I'm not sick of being asked the same questions because we loved it so much, and it was such a wonderful, wonderful experience. All of us. I think I could probably speak for the entire cast. Like we love coming together. We do Comic-Cons a lot. The cast members, and sitting on a panel, doing Q&As and talking about my experience, and especially if I'm lucky enough to be sitting next to one or many of the actors from the show, it's wonderful. I feel so blessed and grateful that I was a part of something that still resonates. Now it's like 12 years later. I think. Yeah, it's. I think it might be. So I don't get sick, and if I go down forever being remembered as Simon Tam, I wouldn't think that was a bad thing.
As soon as this news came out, like my brain found a way to automatically forgive him for everything I wasted my time on, and just look at the things I loved him for again. We just recently dropped an episode of not How Did This Get Made? That's somebody else's podcast.
Bad movie night. Jesus, man.
Okay, so what I was going to say is since I've been in Texas, not only do I sweat enough to equate 150 minutes of exercise, but I also swim almost every day.
Okay, well, the swimming almost every day. Well, wait, are you like doing laps or are you just kind of...
Yeah, like actively swimming.
Okay.
I mean, not
Are you swimming or are you sitting in a pool?
No.
Those are the
Like I'm
questions we're
swimming
asking.
around in the pool.
Okay.
Not to mention, I have to go up more stairs than I've gone up and down in the past decade. I also had the biggest record of exercise for my Apple Watch. It was like, now it wants me to do that every day. It's like, you did a record, now beat that every day.
Watch probably thought you were dead as much as you sleep.
Your Apple Watch is like, holy shit, she's alive. Now do that again.
I would almost argue that it's less to do with nerds taking over Hollywood and more to do with just Disney taking over Hollywood.
I mean, there's some truth there, but it's DC too. I mean, I think it's nerds. I think the Geek Show and Hair at the Earth has been what has doomed us all.
That is where the worst fandoms live.
Pluses and minuses. Pluses and minuses.
Yeah, it is really the worst fandom where the worst fandoms live.
How so? Why do you think that?
I mean, think about Spider-Man. No offense.
Hey.
No offense. Think about Spider-Man. Think about all the DC movies. Think about Star Wars. Think about every property that comes from nerds and how if it's not exactly how that one individual nerd feels it should be, then they're going to argue with every other nerd in the world and say, no, you're wrong. I'm right. No, you're wrong. I'm right. And they should have done it this way. And we're literally going to start an online campaign until Zack Snyder gets his director cut released.
I'm good with that.
Like, just...
I'm good with that.
I know there's been some good benefits that came out of it, but when you think about how evil... think about the Star Wars fandom, how evil they can be and mean.
It's like you give the guy who was bullied for his whole life, you give him a little bit of power and they start becoming, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
How are they going to do it when there is family and one kid goes to college, or they're not going to let that kid who went to college be able to use the rest of the family's Netflix account? Like, that seems a little ridiculous.
According to the Affordable Care Act, because this needs to be affordable for everybody, they have till 26 before they have to get off the Netflix account.
I like that. What's the ages of everyone?
Right. I used to have an Apple phone, and the thing that I hated about it was that I couldn't do whatever I wanted with it. And also, as soon as like that 2-year mark hit, the phone went down the tubes so fast.
John, but you also like to push buttons. Why are we talking
about Apple phones? Who gives a shit? This is
hold on.
TVs.
John needs to know this. You like to push buttons. I think it might be a good idea for Apple to prevent you from pushing buttons and doing stuff that messes stuff up.
That's a fair argument.
I like to push buttons.
Yeah. You'd totally be in the cockpit with Tom Cruise and push the eject button, and there goes Maverick.
I took the assignment seriously and actually had an actual story where all 4 people worked together
oh my gosh.
as a team in order to take Thanos down.
Wait, I just described how my team works together.
Barely.
What?
Okay, Troy.
Let me show you how it's done, John.
Oh boy, here we go.
So in my story, Thanos is going to be walking along and he's going to run into this little tiny creature called Gollum. And because Thanos has this philosophy kind of thinker, he's really intrigued by this tiny creature in his battle between Smeagol and Gollum. And so he follows Gollum into a cave where he runs into 1955's Biff Tannen, who is such a bad line deliverer that Thanos just gets bored to tears with how Biff is talking to him. And so as he just gets more just disgusted and repelled by Biff, and he gets so bored with it, he actually falls to sleep. And so while he's sleeping, he runs into Freddy Krueger, who is coming and chasing after him in his sleep with, in his hand, the Infinity Gauntlet modified with razor blades, which then causes Thanos to panic because he realizes he doesn't have the Infinity Gauntlet anymore and he can't accomplish his mission. Eventually, he does finally wake up and escapes Freddy Krueger, but because he's so scared when he wakes up, Pennywise the Clown is standing over him and eats him and his fear. Thanos is dead on the spot.
I have to give it to him. He is very creative with his use of characters.
Yeah, he even got Biff Tannen in here.
I know. That's actually funny.
I don't know. This is sounding like he's earning his own like golden box of flies right now.
That sounded like a compliment from the guy I'm about to beat.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to give you something, and I've always thought this isn't something I just pulled out of my ass.
I'm sure that trunk's got a lot in it.
It's a badonkadonk, man. I'm telling you, it's really. But I want to explain it, and I want you to think about it before you tell me I'm crazy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and keep in mind, this movie is from the early '80s. It's a different time. It's like 40 years ago. Different time. 40 years ago this year, actually this month.
Oh, happy anniversary, mystery movie.
Pride Month and 40-year anniversary of this movie. So I think it all connects. So here we go. You ready? I believe E.T. is less a story about friendship than it is an unconventional metaphor or allegory, however you want to say it, for homosexual or interracial love. Let me explain. And if you're
please do.
And if you're please don't think anything pervy. The only pervy, it's innocent love. So please relax. It's about loving someone who is unconventional to the rest of your world, your current existence. And if you just think about the film a little bit, it's the early 80s. An outsider arrives that everyone just stares at because they don't understand at this time. They're not used to whatever. The government is hunting them for no reason other than they don't approve. Elliot knows he needs to keep E.T. a secret. His friends all understand because they love Elliot and they have no problem with it. But the older adults, they have issues. Elliot and E.T. immediately have an unbreakable bond. When separated, they even feel each other, like deeply, like feel each other.
You're right.
E.T. watches this sweeping romantic movie, and that takes over Elliot's body, which prompts him to kiss a girl, while E.T.'s thinking about maybe kissing Elliot, and it takes over. There's a way. I'm just saying. Elliot's mom doesn't approve, but comes to love E.T. and wants to keep them together. When the government pulls them apart, both Elliot and E.T. start to break down because their love is so strong. E.T. knows he has to go back to his family because in this era, no one understands E.T. and Elliot's love. So Elliot's friends help him get back to his family, where he tells Elliot he'll always be right here in his heart with this gigantic glowing heart to prove it. So tell me, how is this not a love story?
I think when you...
Well, I'm sold.
Yeah, when you put it that way.
I've had this conversation with people over the years, and of course they always say I'm crazy before I even speak.
I've honestly never heard this take before, so I don't know if it counts as controversial because I've never heard anybody else ever talk about it.
Please go state it in a public forum.
I was going to say, but I think now that it's out in the ethers, people are going to come for you and be like, No, but I agree with you. I think that's an interesting observation.
I actually firmly believe it's probably more homosexual, I would say, than interracial. But I was just trying to think, like, at the time, those were kind of still taboo. Interracial was still taboo. And I know that because I lived, even though times had changed, they hadn't changed that much. And homosexuality was really looked down upon. So with the government constantly basically implying horrible things about homosexuals and stuff like that. So I've always thought that this was kind of like a very small, innocent way to show love between two boys, that it happens, and it doesn't, you don't have to think, like, I've had this conversation and people automatically go dirty, and that just irritates me because I'm like, you didn't think it was dirty when they were just friends. So, why would you have to make it that way? You can love all children, like at that age, at Elliot's age, love somebody. They have a crush on somebody. So, I mean, I think it was completely normal. And I think if you think of it in that way and you watch it in that way, it becomes a different kind of movie and it kind of a beautiful story.
I like that. We need to have Steven Spielberg's take on this, his response.
I'm sure he's going to take my calls. I'll put the call out. My name is Aaron Peterson. Joining me today are my fellow host, Amanda Sink.
Hello, hello.
Troy Heinritz.
You couldn't hear it in the outtakes, but I almost got promoted this week, guys.
Wait, what?
You almost got me removed completely, is what happened.
That's true. Oh, I see how it is.
He forgot because I've been so absent from episodes. He forgot that I was part of the crew.
Yeah. I mean, that feels like a fair assumption, right? I mean,
see, here I was feeling inclusive of Amanda still being here and just excited to be promoted.
But I knew the reality.
Like, nope, he just straight up shit forgot me.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of forgetting people, John Davenport won't be here this week. If there's nudity, that's really hard to explain as that's fake until your kids are mature enough to understand what sex really is.
Okay, serious question. Isn't there an opportunity for you to just say, this is a body part? Like if there's nudity, like if a boobie pops out, you could just be like,
how old they are.
You'll have those one day, little Susie.
I mean, yes, but I got...
And these are your private, like, people don't touch them. You don't let people touch them until, just don't let people touch them. People aren't touching those.
Ever?
Until they're older, and then you might be like, okay, now with consent, somebody can touch them.
No, it's like nobody touches them because then I have to kill somebody, and that's not really fair to you because you might like that person, and that's the last time you see them. And then they're on
Daddy goes to jail.
Yeah, and then they're on because Daddy's watched enough true crime to know.
On Netflix.
Exactly. Since PG-13 was kind of dropped, there's very, very few instances where PG actually had nudity. And if it does, it's typically a male's buttocks. For whatever reason,
men are allowed to be more nude than women.
That's right. That is true. Male nudity will actually get you a harsher rating, I believe, statistics have shown, than female nudity.
That's why I've been so impressed.
You know why? It's because females look wonderful without clothes on, and men are ugly as hell. They're just ugly.
Like, this is going to traumatize you to see this man's dangly, small micro penis.
Why is Troy doing the helicopter?
Dude, it ain't about the front end. It's about all that hair on the back, man. Bodies. Obviously, we're going to go see because Aaron said so. And then...
Because Aaron said so. If anything, that's going to deter me.
Well, I would have
being told to do something.
I would have said Aaron. I would have seen it because you said so, but you apparently were sleeping. So,
are you guys caught up on Walking Dead?
No.
I won't say anything except holy shit.
Well, I mean, after they killed Carl, I really didn't know where else they were going to go. So,
oh God, I wish. Don't tease me. Coral.
God, those are the best memes in the whole wide world.
I drank some food coloring. I'm dying inside, Coral. Dying. It's supposed to be in theaters, but iTunes also has it for rent.
What's it called?
It's called We Are Still Here.
We Are Still Here.
That's how I feel at the end of our podcast recordings.
All right, hang on, I got this
Freddy's
thingy.
coming for you.
Here we go.
3, 4.
Better lock your door.
Oh, it's October.
5, 6, bring your crucifix. 7, 8.
I think she has to play the whole song out.
Gonna stay
Yeah, it's like Come Sail Away for Cartman.
9, 10, never sleep again.
I'm Freddy.
So there's really no drama, no tension, no.
So you fell asleep in the documentary about people that can't fall asleep.
Yep.
Oh, you beat me to it. Macumba song.
God damn it.
I like it.
Does what Justin's ego really need is a song named after him?
Yeah.
Welcome to Brian's Trailer Park.
As you're well aware, Brian's not here, so Scotty and I are going to take over. Scott, what's our first trailer?
From the writer of The Hangover and The Hangover 2 comes, you guessed it, the junior version of pretty much the same film. 21 and over follows Jeff Chang, a promising medical student who turns 21 years old the night before a big exam. His two best friends convince him that on his 21st birthday he has to have the night of his life, and hilarity ensues as Jeff does what typical 21-year-olds do and get completely wasted, and the night of debauchery begins. Now, Aaron, you're further away from 21 than any of us. Does this seem like a way you want to go back to the theater and relive your youth?
The notorious nose whistle. That's my favorite. I'm like, there was, which one? I wish I would have said there was one where I swear to God, it was like Sergio Leone. I'm like,
You're just not going to let me start at all, are you?
Nope.
Did you disappear? Okay.
No, I'm still
here.
Motherfucker, I'm still here.
He stops talking. I get concerned. All right, let's do this. Let's go.
I've never heard you say that. That was the sweetest thing you've ever said to me.
Well, let's go.
He was
no,
that you're
I
concerned.
stop talking, you get concerned.
Oh, well, not in is he alive kind of way. More like, am I going to have to re-record some shit?
Huh.
No? Stupid?
John, is that how you would spell it? B-Y-E? Just
Bye!
And now Hotel Transylvania. And in honor of the fact that it's Halloween time and it's a movie about Dracula, we thought we'd have a guest.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on and allowing me the time out of my crypt to tell you how I feel about my new biography, Hotel Transylvania.
This year I saw a real Bigfoot on the big screen. That was amazing. Harry and the Hendersons. Cha. So, I mean, I really want a Bigfoot now.
One more time, I might have to bitch slap you myself. What about Harry and the Hendersons? Jack Wagon. Why can't Kevin Costner stay in character this long?
Shoot, Scotty, what you got coming up for some attractions?
Well, obviously we've got.
Whoa.
I was going to say, wait a minute, I wasn't respecting the segue that quick.
Here's the thing. I want to know. You've done Trailer Park and you did it in Brian's voice. Can you do Justin's upcoming attractions in Justin's voice? Because I know he might listen, so I want to know exactly how brave you're going to be.
Oh my God! Really, you're going to make me do this right now?
Hey, however you hear Justin, that's all I want to hear. And you know he's listening, going, "Motherfucker, I want to hear you, motherfucker."
I can hear him right now. Don't fuck this up, Scotty.
I don't like to piss people off, man. There's no way I can do it without making it.
I know because anytime you bring something up, you're like, "I know this is controversial."
Even though it's
You're
not.
like, but I like green. It's not controversial, Scott. It's the color green.
No, but this is different. This isn't like my opinion. This is like, how do you mimic someone's voice without sounding like you're making fun of them?
Brian, you know, he had no problem mimicking your voice. So does that mean? Does that mean? Does he respect?
You had to keep him like the Gimp in Pulp Fiction in the trunk in a latex suit, chained at the collar.
So he respects Justin more than you. Does that has got to hurt your feelings, man? I'm sorry.
All right. I'll give it a shot. Here we go. You ready?
Uh-huh. Be pissed.
All right, here we go. Well, we've got we've got two movies coming out on March 6th.
He's gonna fucking cut you.
I don't know how to do Justin.
Do it.
All right. Well, we've got 2 movies this week, both coming
Mr.
out on March
Rogers.
6th. The first is Chappie. It's directed by Neil Blomkamp. Buy my book on Amazon.
About 5 minutes, so take that to 12.
Sorry about that.
No.
He's just
dude.
marking his times.
I'm just marking my times.
I mean, for y'all in general.
That's every week.
You're fine.
Every week. there's
Take
something.
Aaron's compassion where the moments come, okay?
Yeah, they don't get it. Recording myself, and we are good to go. All right, you guys ready? Hang on.
Ready,
Mana's
Freddie?
Yawning. Mana's yawning. Hang on, she's so excited. She's yawning. All right, I'm making sure I'm not lip smacking. That's how the professionals do it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just spit it out?
I think he just took a pee. Did you just piss? That's pee.
Spit it back into his cup?
That's gross, dude.
What? I'm drinking it.
I personally enjoy the responses we get from a number of the people, like Sue.
Okay.
Maybe you guys don't. Okay, geez, all right. Maybe for Pete's sake.
I think I started ahead of the game, but man, you have hit the nitrous, my brother.
Brian, are you ready yet? Are you still alive? Is he conscious? Has anybody checked on him?
Seriously, where the hell is Brian?
Brian! God damn it!
All right, hey hoes, I suggested this randomly on the Facebook page, but since you went through all the trouble of setting up this email, I'll use it to make my suggestion official. In homage to your epic episode 100, I feel that Aaron, Scott, and Justin should get rip-roaringly shit-faced before you begin recording while Brian stays completely sober.
That lasted a long time.
That did not happen.
No, that did not happen.
No, it did not.
How do we end up with Han fucking a Wookiee?
All right, yeah. You know what? If Chewie consents, they're 2 consenting adults, and they can do what they want, and I'm not going to hate on them.
So who's giving? Chewbacca or Han Solo?
Chewie's giving. I mean, come on.
He is bigger.
Chewie don't take.
Chewie don't. Hey, look, I'm high-fiving you right now. Chewie don't take.
I'll use Stillwater toilet paper.
As long as you bought it, I don't give a fuck.
Wife comes in. Why aren't you using the Sherman? I still got minor magic left.
I still got pages.
Hang on, my ass is feeling a little haywire.
Question for the class. What channel are the soap operas on?
All of
Troy, trivia question, go.
All of them?
No.
Like One Life to Live used to be on ABC with General Hospital.
I don't.
I believe
There's
Days of Our
nothing-
Lives was on NBC, and Guiding Light
okay.
was on CBS.
I thought they were all on one channel.
I don't think this is. We're talking primetime. I think.
No, but Aaron answered my point, which was they are too lazy. That's why we invented the thing called the clicker, because they didn't want to get up off of their couches to go
Stop.
turn the knob from
Stop
2 to
it.
something else.
I don't agree with this theory.
And then when they got the clicker, they didn't understand how to work the clicker. So that's why they call me all the time to try to figure out how to work the clicker, because they can't work the clicker. So it stays on 2 all the time.
You know what?
Drink every time you hear the clicker.
I'm already hammered. Here's what we'll do a little Team Troy, Team Aaron is what we're going to do. So if you're in social media, go ahead at Buy Popcorn or find us on Facebook or whatever. And I want to know if you're attacking the elderly, you think they're honestly just incapable of scrolling past channel 2, because that's the way I hear it. Then it's Team Troy. If you believe and support that they make their own choices in life and they just want to watch these shows, Team Aaron.
I also want to make note that if John or I...
Hey, you got to bring it down. You got to bring it down. I don't know what
not-
you're doing on that microphone, but you are yelling in our ear and it hurts.
This is going to be a tough show because I can't even hear my thoughts over you talking.
Okay, let me restructure. Is this better? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Yeah, that's good.
It's so far
That's
away.
how hot your microphone is.
Yes, your microphone is really hot.
That's not a me thing though.
No, it's a Phoebe Cates kind of hot. Like it's way hot.
Oscars are over now, right? Yeah, good. Grammys are here. Did anything happen? Was anybody slapped at the Grammys?
Nobody. But you know what I did find out? Literally every celebrity, including I think Richard Grieco, was asked what they thought about Will Smith's smack, which is just fantastic.
What meth hole did they find Richard Grieco in?
I don't know, but literally everyone in Hollywood has been asked this at this point. I mean,
Hi.
It's insane.
Come down the red carpet. They're like, "Hi, good to see you. Good to see you." Yeah. So who are you wearing today? Will Smith's handprint? What?
What? Is that a fresh print? Oh, I don't know if you heard that, but I'm pretty sure Santa is back. All right. Well, gang, Santa agreed to drop by and read a few letters from listeners and respond directly to them on air. So keep in mind, Santa's had a rough year. I think he lost 2 elves and a candy cane related work injury. So I can't promise he's going to be completely jolly, but he's going to respond as deemed appropriate by him. So he's going to respond to you directly, listeners. I think that's great. Are you ready for your first letter, Santa?
Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on.
All right. I didn't ever think I'd ever hear Santa say, bring it on. Okay. This comes from Masal Young. He says, Dear Santa, for the most part this year, I've been a sarcastic son of a bitch. But hey, I'm honest. What I want for Christmas is a sequel to I Am Number 4 and also for Rotten Tomatoes to die out. Thanks, big guy.
All right, so you're a dick. and you want a sequel to kind of a bad movie, so I can't help with that. And unfortunately, Rotten Tomatoes, there's nothing I can do about that. So, yeah, maybe Easter. Maybe talk to the Easter Bunny. He might bring you a little bit more than just some turds in a basket. Santa's got nothing. What's next?
Thanks, Santa. Now I think we go to John's letter.
All right. So Christina Flores says, Dear Santa, I've worked so very hard this year and I've been a pretty good girl. For Christmas, I'd love the entire Harry Potter collection on DVD or Blu-ray, as well as the entire Big Bang Theory series streaming on Amazon Prime or Netflix. Additionally, I'd love a stress-free time to sit and watch them. Thanks, Santa. Sincerely, crazy working mother of an army.
Well, Christina, first of all, yes, you've been a very good girl, raising all 27 of those kids. Underappreciated job. And I just, on behalf of the rest of the hosts, want to thank you for doing that. However, I can't do anything about the companies like Amazon and Netflix. They handle their own stuff. I don't get into the business and the politics and all that stuff. So that's their deal. I got enough stuff running around all over the world. I'll do what I can to free you up a little time to catch up on this stuff, though. But for the most part, yeah, you're pretty much SOL too. But hey, we like you.
Santa's not very giving this year.
Shut your pie hole. What else you got?
Scott?
Our last one comes from Angela Lee Wallach, and she says, Dear Santa, Merry Homas to you and the missus. Send my love to Donner, in my opinion, the most underrated reindeer. Since I'm a Hollywood Outsider listener, I know I've made the good list. If you could do me a few solids, that would be awesome. Number 1, make everyone watch Dirk Gently. Number 2, provide me my very own real-life BB-8 and a Niffler. Number 3, give me the ability to rewatch shows that I love, like it's the first time that I've seen them. Number 4, grant every hoe a Christmas wish. Number 5, put me in charge of deciding which Chris, Evans, Pratt, and Hemsworth, gives the best hugs. Lastly, if you could renew Agent Carter, that would be great. Sincerely, DJ Wallach.
Well, all right there, DJ Wallach. Let's, you've given me quite the list here to address, all right? So, number 1, you're greedy as shit, all right? So, this is just one of those things to where I'm going to have to spend way too much time on your list. So, let's go ahead and start. Number 1, make everyone watch Dirk Gently. I agree, everybody should watch it. It's a fantastic show. I don't know what more credibility I can have by being Santa Claus. I mean, Santa Claus says watch it, get off your ass and watch it. Put it on your queue list, your watch list, whatever you want to call it. All right, moving on. Provide me with my very own real-life BB-8 and a Niffler. That's just not going to happen. Sorry. So give you the ability to rewatch shows that I love. It's like it's the first time that I've seen them. No problem. I'll give you Alzheimer's.
Shit. I did not see that coming.
Get ready for that, DJ.
and I was flipping through the channels on mute, and I came across the Court TV Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. That's fantastic, right?
Yeah,
it's smack heard around the world.
Yeah. I mean,
I like how you worded that. That was actually kind of clever. Smack heard around the world. I like that.
I just didn't know if this trumped the other one or if this is about the same.
Did you intend that?
If you have to explain the joke, Aaron, the joke doesn't work anymore.
But was that the important
he wasn't
part
even
was
paying attention. He just was like,
it went right over his head.
Was it intentional? Goddammit! That's what I'm asking.
That joke was a 2-for-1, bitch. Come on. He's trying to calculate how much time it's going to take him to leave his house, drive down the mountain, get to the theater, watch the movie, and get back. And can that be done within 4 weeks?
Right. So
I think
Mike.
Also, the question is, how many times have you left your cave, and how many times have I shown up? Even just 4 times on time.
Right. So my calculation, Amanda, is that you have 22 weeks and 6 days to actually show up on time 4 weeks in a row.
That feels right.
Okay.
That's the span of time that you get to work with, because I'm stuck in my cave for at the very least that amount of time.
Okay. So are like bets on right now? Are you guys placing bets?
No. I don't want the odds either way.
The odds suck, but
yeah,
you have to pick. You guys have to pick.
You know what? No, you know who's perfectly suited to.
I'll pick John. I just don't think he can go 4 weeks beyond
John's
time.
over, and I always take the overs in football,
Yeah.
so I'm taking the over.
John, I think John might accidentally stumble. Like, he might actually run his Jeep into a theater before you show up 4 weeks on time.
This goes back to
But you have at least 22 weeks where you can assuredly show up 4 times in a row and win this bet.
That's like almost 6 months, right?
Yeah.
That's like
just
5.
under 6 months. Yeah. I think I can do it within 6 months. I can just get 1 month within 6 months.
I don't think you can. No.
You will see from the episodes that we don't, nothing's dumbed down, because people know if you're dumbing something down. And once they figure it out, they know that you think you're above them, that you have to dumb it down. The universe, when told properly, needs no dumbing down at all.
Now, we're going to have a little debate before we head out of here. This is our game for the week, all right? So you're having a movie night with friends and family at your July 4th party. You've created an outdoor theater in your backyard, but you can only watch one movie between Independence Day and Jaws. 2 admittedly classic Independence Day style based films. Which is the best July 4th party selection and why?
Before anyone answers this, Aaron, I have to ask, are you just presenting this as a game topic because you can't decide what to watch on July 4th when you create an outdoor theater in your backyard and want to watch either Independence Day or Jaws?
100%. 100%. I need help deciding this. A bit more of the Crusading Psycho, and he will not be ignored. Justin McCumber. Trust me, I've tried to ignore him.
You can't see it, but I am vigorously rubbing my nipples right now.
Thanks.
Oh,
Just imagine it.
Whoa.
Thank God it's only an audio podcast.
I think we need to shift to YouTube real quick.
This guy made a video of himself skateboarding on his stomach down a rural street, but he put like a rug on top of it and took his shirt off so he looks like Aladdin riding on a magic carpet. The street looks freaking hilarious. I gotta figure out how to send this to you. Huh?
A whole new world.
Well, I wasn't playing the video because I didn't, audio's not allowed on here, but,
if he's not singing, then it doesn't count.
But the video is pretty funny. But someone put a caption on here that said, "I can show you the world." You guys probably can't see this. Well, it's on my friend's Facebook page. I don't think it'll work. Hang on, let me try to find it.
I got the wonder of it through your voice. That sounded a lot more shitty than I intended it to. I get angry when people disagree with me. That's just a personality fault on mine. And
so we're assholes because we don't agree?
That's right. That's right.
And close your mouth.
God damn it, right? Fucking close your mouth.
But don't say, hey, fucker, close your mouth.
Yeah, and don't say, hey, fuck me in the mouth. Right. Those are the things you can't say. With me today are my fellow host, Scotty Clark.
Hey.
Hey, that was a little seductive. Justin
What?
McCumber. It was.
That's
how I
what
seduce.
gets your motor running is a
Yeah, I just walk in the door and go, hey, and
Yeah.
she just slaps me in the face with it. You know what I'm saying?
You pop your collar.
Jeremy spoken.
Did they have any other albums?
They had the one album, yeah. They had the other album, yeah.
God, teaching's awesome.
You can't do that.
I can't
on
even
5
call
minutes.
teaching really a job. Sounds like a hobby.
You can call writing a job.
I work hard.
He got you. He did get you.
I think people blend it these days, though, because sometimes I think in the past it was the soundtrack was only the songs that were sung by artists that you could hear on the radio.
Right.
And then the musical score was like a 2-volume of all the instrumentals.
They always called it
I think
the
today they started to blend them together a little bit. You might get 2 or 3 or 4 of the big hits mixed in with some of the background music that's on that particular album. I think what's interesting about music in the movies specifically is that there's like 2 different types of music. There's something called diegetic music. This is music that's actually heard, like the characters actually hear the music in the movie. So think like I'm driving in the car and I pop a song on the radio, or when Marty McFly wakes up to the alarm clock. Like that type of music is diegetic. So the character is actually hearing that song as well as the audience, versus something that's just incidental or underscoring where it would be in the background. I think some of the best soundtracks probably use more of the incidental music, unless it's like ramping up to pump you up into something. Thinking like Living in America, for example, from Rocky IV, which we'll get into in a little bit. I think is a really great use of like pumping up the audience, but it's not actually heard in the actual movie itself by the characters.
Oh yeah, because Rocky was famous.
Where Power of Love is on the radio when Marty wakes up in the morning. So it's actually heard by Marty McFly inside the movie, which is diegetic then.
Wonderful. Amanda Sink?
Hello, hello.
Oh, you gave up in 1 week, huh?
I did. Well, there was no positive, like, enthusiastic responses for hey, hey, hey.
Well, everybody kind of said that they prefer the hello, hello. So
Yeah. So
You
that
know what?
closed that up.
I find fascinating, John, is we did a whole hour and 40 minutes of podcast, and all anybody cared about was when's Hello Hello coming back? I didn't know it was a thing.
You know, I kind of read that as I'm not needed.
Me too. Coincidental. Bye, Amanda. We'll see you later.
No.
The helm's yours, madam.
Here we go. I got to do the opening first. Hang on. Whether this... Okay, never mind. Let's get these yawns in. Nothing makes you feel like you're putting on a great podcast like somebody yawning at the top. Hey, what's up, John Davenport?
What's up?
Remember that commercial? I hated it.
True.
Did you love it?
Yes. Everybody did it way too much for my taste.
Everybody listening? Half the people are doing it and half the people are quitting the show because they don't want to hear it ever again.
Right.
Can I go back a second? I'm a little bit flabbergasted, but the little dude said the games are all about scoring. I'm still laughing about that in my own head.
Are you on weed at this particular moment?
Maybe.
So here at the Hose, you guys, you rate movies of $10 the full price of admission. Would you say Rambo Last Blood is a victory?
$10 full price, I would give it $6.50. Definitely $6.50.
What do you think, Rody? You think I'll win at Oscar?
I see what you're doing, man. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself.
Hey, I just asked a question. Don't leave me on a cliffhanger, you know what I mean?
Seriously, you're ridiculous. Stop it.
Hey, that's just part of my creed, Rony.
Okay, we're done. Are we done here? We're done. See Rambo. Go see Rambo.
Good thing I had an escape plan for this podcast, you know what I mean?
Bye, Sly. We'll see you when you bring another character back from the dead.
Get your boyfriend Kurt Russell to call me about Tango and Cash 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Thanks for stopping by, man. We always appreciate it.
Hey, any time of day, man. I mean it. I'm a Nighthawk.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yo.
Honestly, VHS, the quality's fine. I think it looks great.
VHS is banging, man.
Gag me with a spoon. It's awful, dude. What are you talking about?
I don't like the idea you have to flip it halfway. Like, who thought that was a good idea? You know, well, let's take out this cool technological wonder. You can see the movies in your movie theater. Well, it's really it's probably a 13-inch TV, but you can see these movies, but you got to stop at midway, flip it over and rub it down, whatever you got to do to watch the second half. I just don't get the point. Put it in the video.
Rub it down?
Oh no.
Smack it.
Yeah. You flip it and then you rub it down. Oh no. I don't know if that's quite a song yet, but I bet you it'll be catchy when it is.
I will tell you that Avatar won the 82nd Academy Awards for Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Visual Effects, and was nominated for Best Director and Best Picture.
Avatar was?
Avatar was.
I guess you're on point tonight. I don't usually want to take over. You can just take over this shit. I stand corrected. If I'm taking you at your word.
Titanic won 11 awards in the 70th Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
As it should have.
So why wasn't Spider-Man No Way Home nominated when it beat out both of those movies? Oh, that's right, because James Cameron wasn't involved.
That's a great question. I like how John just forgets we're doing a podcast and acts like he's at home in his fucking garage, just cracking open a cold one more.
No, he was like, Spider-Man No Way Home should have been nominated.
Jesus.
I'll drink to that.
I want to know how they're going to monitor and manage this.
IP addresses.
Because but are they going to look at every single person's IP address and be like, oh, this doesn't match here? What if I'm traveling? Or what if my household member is traveling?
I think they actually show up at your house and they do an on-site consensus and also a kind of a proctological exam. I'm sorry, but that's how they have to do it now. It's like DNA. They do a very thorough check to make sure you are who you say you are. I think that's how they do it. I don't have any scientific proof of that, but that is the internet now.
You seem to know a whole lot about the experience of proctal investigation.
Yeah, that guy wasn't from Netflix.
How's it going, Alan?
Couldn't be better, man. I'm happy to be talking to you.
I'm excited to be talking to you. My whole family apparently is rooting for you, and I didn't even know it. My son's yelling, yeah, my son's yelling Hawk, and my son-in-law's yelling Thad, and I don't know what's going on, but everybody's excited.
Yeah, better that you don't go back and watch some of that. But I'm glad everybody's coming together with Reacher.
I did go back and check some of it out. Thad is an interesting character. For sure.
Yeah, that's one word for it. He's lucky to be alive. That's for sure.
I'm going to get this out of the way because I'm a huge Lee Child fan of, and I'm a fan of the Jack Reacher.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the movies, but I think anyone who's read the books knows that the stature was a bit different from the book from where the movies are. And you have both the mannerisms, and now that I've seen it, I mean, I went in just intending to watch the first couple episodes, and I ended up watching the whole season. I think you nailed the role.
Oh, wow.
I'm just
Thank you so much.
Giving you the compliment and getting it out of the way so you don't have to wonder. So what about the character initially attracted you as an actor? I mean, outside of an actor wanting a job, obviously.
Yeah, good question. I mean, beside the fact that I also am a Lee Child fan, I mean, I read not just all the books, but all the short stories and novellas that he wrote as well around this character. I mean, there's nothing of his that I haven't read. I am a fan of his mind. Now that I've met him, I mean, I'm an even bigger fan. He's incredibly gracious and humble and makes himself available. He's really, truly, he's an incredible guy. But the intellect that he has, he sort of lives vicariously through Reacher in a way, but we're the beneficiary of his intelligence. I love that aspect of this. I mean, Reacher is a smart guy, but when you pay attention and sort of read between the lines, there are like laugh out loud moments in this. I think Reacher is a funny guy, unexpectedly funny. I sort of expected this one-hander, this action guy, action star that's a little like the guys that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s. But I think he's unique in that way, where there's a sense of humor to this, and I really wanted to find that.
Well done, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much. I love all of you, and Godspeed to Justin McCumber. Not that he is anywhere near God. We know that he's...
How fast does he need to go? He's already there.
Shit. Well, yeah, I love it when you talk about me.
It's not monologuing, it's a me-a-log.
It's a me-a-log. Who's got the background? Is that Brian? Is that the fridge? At the fridge?
Yeah, probably.
I'll give that
I
one.
mean, I don't know what you're hearing.
He's too drunk to know.
I don't know what that number, what comes after 2? Is it 3 or is it 1?
2.5. Are you
Right.
metric?
2.5?
Exactly.
That one sucked. It's like when your mom got the 2.5, you're like, ooh, and then she goes 2 3/4. Okay, I better do it. That's it.
I never did that. I just went 1, 2, 3. You're done. That's it. We're done.
No, my mom pulled the 2.5, 2 3/4 bit.
That doesn't reinforce anything. That's just bad parenting. Sorry.
Oh, my mother is a saint. She's smiling down from heaven for me right now.
Yeah, probably going. You'll be up here in 2, 2.2, 2.3. You're almost here. 2.4.
2 3/4. You're gonna be in a second, and I'm like, no, I gotta finish everything real quick.
I saw a meme the other day that had a picture of like a black and white picture of an old granny lady sitting on her couch, and the caption said, "If you grew up and your grandma had plastic on the couch, she was a squirter."
Oh my God.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst thing somebody's done in a while.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. I mean,
Bill Cosby
Bill Cosby's got 3 years.
3 to 10.
3 to 10. His pudding's popped, is what I'm saying. Well, yeah, that's all going.
So, Kevin, you are our guest. Of these options, which one do you think you're going to see this week?
Glow. Yeah. And you think I'm lying. You think I'm full of shit right now. But God is my witness. I am wearing a head sweatband that says Glow on it.
What?
That is awesome.
Yes, and I've got the matching wristbands, and I had a jacket that has glow. Somebody who was a fan of our podcast worked on the set, and everybody got a goodie bag, which was a gym bag filled with all sorts of swag from Glow, and he sent it to us. And it is, at the time we were recording this, 157 degrees Fahrenheit in my studio, and I am sweating. So I was like, this is stupid 80s technology, but I'm going to wear this because no one is going to see me and will know. So I just outed myself.
All right, if you guys are ready, are you ready?
I told you I was ready, Freddy, like 5 minutes ago, and that wasn't good enough.
I was not going to take that seriously.
What about rock and roll?
Yes, Lord, overlords. I am ready to go.
No.
God made rock and roll for us. Made rock and roll for us.
John,
I like it better when he just sings to us.
Why are you serenading people? I'm sorry, Amanda. This is like your inauguration. Do you want to do it?
My inauguration. Well, you had a really handy line, but I'll try it.
No, I'll still leave it in so they know how much cooler mine was.
Okay. Perfect. Remember, the next time you head to a theater, buy popcorn.
Yeah, it wasn't as good.
It wasn't.
No.
With your movie pass. Does that make it better?
Don't make it dirty.
I didn't say
movie
dirty.
pass.
What happened here? How did I get stuck in this conversation?
I don't know. My name is Aaron Peterson. Join me today, my fellow host, John Davenport.
Hey, Aaron, how you doing today?
I'm excited.
You're excited. Let's do this. I'm so thrilled.
Wow.
I'm Batman.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. No, I'm Batman.
No, I'm Batman.
Look, I don't know where she is. That means I'm Batman.
No, I'm Batman. That was really bad. My voice came out.
I'm gender neutral Batman. Yeah, I'm going to wait until I'm done with this one, though.
You're going to have me pour it in the middle of the episode?
So, hold on a second. You guys are sharing drinks, but you wear a mask for pictures.
We're not sharing. Well, I thought it was funny.
No, I brought
okay.
I brought a bottle. I wasn't going to share him my glass.
Yeah. He's going to pour
Oh,
me
I got
some.
you. You poured. I thought you were just like, here,
I
have
mean,
a
he's
swig of
drinking
mine.
the bottle and he's licking around it. Is that bad? Is that bad? I don't think that's bad. All right, let's.
You don't get COVID from that.
Rub it between my taint.
Ew.
Do you have multiple taints to rub it between them?
He's got a front and back taint.
I was hoping
Because I
nobody
would
would
rub
notice
something
that.
on my taint.
Yeah, I know. I used the wrong.
Between my taint.
I used the wrong
implies
preposition.
you've got multiple taints.
Before I'm done, I'd like to be frank. There's hundreds of listeners we'd all like to thank. Without you, this show would be wasted endeavor. Our talks left unheard, no matter how clever. Your voice even earned us a podcast award. And believe when I say that all our hearts soared
So thank you to all, and to all a good night. May your holidays be pleasant, merry, and bright. From all of us hoes, Aaron, Arjan, and Scott, may this season be one that won't be forgot.
I really am attracted to the sci-fi fantasy world. I mean, I think the Neverending Story did have a huge impact on me. I think it shaped my taste a little bit. And I think reality is so magical, and we forget about it. And that we sort of need magical or sci-fi worlds to kind of wake us up to the extraordinariness of ordinariness.
That's great. I think you should be involved with a remake, because we did an entire podcast devoted to how would you remake Neverending Story, and it's a hard one to do. I mean, that kind of world is very hard to imagine, and sometimes it just startles me how people come up with that.
I would love to. We'll see if they do it, and we'll see if they think of me. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I mean, I've aged, I don't think I'm not an all-powerful ageless being. I've definitely...
How do they not think of you?
The role of the Empress is not for me, but it would be super fun if they did that, to do some kind of other cameo.
Well, now she'd be the adult-like Empress.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if it really has the same punch.
Well, was that Luck Dragon is creepy? when you were on set, is like watching it now.
Creepy. He's like a big golden Labrador.
Yeah, but you watch it now, and I like children, and that's
that's funny. Yeah, it definitely things look a little different from north of 40 than they did at 10.
Oh,
but,
definitely.
No, he's still cute.
No, Scott's he's had a long-standing debate. He wanted to know if you would answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. At the end of the film, as you're aware, Bastian kind of has to shout the childlike Empress's real name into the heavens, and this is kind of like a hotly debated topic about this as to what was actually said. And I'm wondering if you can confirm that for us, because I've read about it, but I want to hear from the childlike Empress herself.
It's pizza. No, he does shout Moonchild.
Okay.
He does.
I wish you even knew. No, nothing.
Yours sound like you gave up at the end. You're like,
it hurts. I can't.
John doesn't care. He just keeps going. All right, let's
do this all day.
He probably does.
Go ahead. As we go, why don't you take us out, John?
All right. So remember, we got a Facebook group, and you can follow us on Twitter at @BuyPopcorn. And remember to grab hold and go with the Android app, Spotify, and we're at the HollywoodOutsider.com. We're also on your favorite podcast app. You can find my artwork on Insta and just about everybody else at rjohn.draws. I don't know why there's a period in there, but it is. Amanda's on seat. Her smirk. I got her name and the name of the podcast mixed up. I don't know how to do this anymore. And remember, you can find Aaron with Remake This Room Right. Oh, no, you can't anymore because he sucks. Beyond Westworld and The Blacklist Exposed. I want to thank everybody for being here.
Glad to be here.
Oh, I'm crying.
Okay, so that's the end of the show. I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, the next time you head to the theater, buy Twizzlers. Maybe popcorn.